And what is up, everybody? Welcome. It's just past the top of the hour here, kind of, on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclarion, New Jersey. And this is it. I don't even want to give an intro this time. This is it. It's time to kick the tires, light the fires. You know what it's about. I'm being joined by Mr. Anthony Gabbianelli.
You gave an intro regardless of saying that you didn't want to give an intro.
Well, I did a mini intro. I didn't do like the big thing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I don't know what to say. Sorry for being slightly late, slightly past the clock. I was talking about Game of Thrones with some folks in the office, in the WMSC office.
I heard this episode was bad.
I didn't think it was bad.
I saw the Starbucks cup of coffee on the table.
I did. Yeah, this is a big thing on the internet right now. Starbucks coffee, and I'm anti-coffee in the sense that I just haven't had it yet.
Starbucks ruined Game of Thrones.
Starbucks ruined Game of Thrones, indeed.
Let's start a chant. Let's start a yeah.
So yeah, guys, this is going to be a pretty easygoing episode today, except for the fact that I have a lot of people coming on. First,
would you say it's the most guests you ever had on a show?
I think last week might have been the most, or the week before. I don't know.
And technically,
it might be actually this might be the most because some people might just be stopping by, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. So firstly, my friend Mike Cavalier is going to call in via Skype, everybody, and we're just going to talk about our summer plans, summer movies, what to look forward to, how basically all we're going to be doing is probably playing Fortnite again, because that's what we did last summer, and it was disastrous, but also glorious at the same time. And then, at 11, I have a bunch of them Montclarion folks coming in, including Mr. Gabs right here.
Yeah, I'm that one.
You're that one?
Yep.
I like that you say that one. You're dat boy. You're the tall boy.
Don't mention dat boy when the Montclarion peeps come in. I will say that.
Why don't mention dat boy?
One member of the Montclarion who's coming in hates dat boy.
Okay, that's a strange thing to hate.
I understand that, and I personally love Dat Boy, and he will resurrect once again from the meme graveyard, in my honest opinion.
Resurrects from the meme graveyard.
So just don't mention Dat Boy, I will say that. I made that mistake very early on, and I will never make that mistake again.
That's fair, man. I agree. I mean, just don't stink, you know? Just don't do that. Just don't stink. You don't want to stink.
Yeah, take a shower.
Yeah, take a shower, wipe yourself off.
Use some Dio.
You know? And then after that, we're going to be talking about the Montclarion stuff. Maybe talk about favorite childhood video games, because that's what your pal, Dominique Evans, said.
Not just my pal.
Not just your pal, of course. And then Robert O'Connor, of course, because he had to get in here somehow.
Yes.
The Pier 1 Robert O'Connor is also calling in to talk about that. And then lastly, at around 12, my friend Nate Williams is going to come in. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Probably that Spider-Man trailer that just came out, too.
Can we also talk about that? Or is that just like a strictly that guy's discussion?
I think I'm going to save it. Aside from just saying whether or not we thought it was good. You know?
I'd
rather save it.
I'd rather
save it for later, just to have more things. Because this is a very loose show.
Are we
very loose?
It's officially the spoilers. The spoilers are now.
The spoilers are now lifted.
Spoiler ban is lifted.
Yes, but still, you still got to be courteous to people who haven't seen it.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But and then at around 12. Oh, also Trevor said Trevor Gioia might be stopping by for a little bit just to say hi, I guess. And at 12:30, Anabella Poland's stopping by. Probably the most illustrious guest I've ever had, just because
she's the one that gave you your job.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially gave me my job and supported me, and I really appreciate that. So I think it only made sense to have her on at the very end, when it all goes downhill from here. You know what I mean? Before it all goes downhill, figured it made sense to have her on. We're going to talk about that movie Blinded by the Light, too, which is something we saw about a month ago, and it comes out in August. We go into an early screening, and it's this really dope movie. I recommend everyone checking out the trailer or just looking it up because it's really good, and we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And I'll, of course, say my final goodbyes, which is going to be something. It's weird. This is it, man. They finally got me. Everyone knew this wasn't going to last forever, and it's finally happening. We're finally here.
The horses are in the back to pick you up.
The horses are in the back. That's the perfect way.
They're here to pick you up.
Exactly. They're here to pick me up, take me to the grave. Maybe not the grave, but the
graduation
grave.
Just make the show, bring the show home, get like a SoundCloud, make like a whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Make like a podcast, put it on YouTube if you want.
Mm.
If you do that, I will try my darndest to be on the show as well if you want guests. Continue it. It's a good show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Does it need to be 3 hours? Probably not, but...
No, but that's just because it's radio, so...
Yeah, it's a time slot they gave you and you filled it perfectly.
Yeah, I filled it. Thank you so much, man. So, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, play some features and whatnot. And when we get back, Mike Cavalier is going to call in, and Gabs, because he just does what he wants, he's going to be here too, probably.
If we're talking about the game yesterday, I want to talk about Kawhi's hands.
Yeah, you do want to talk
He's
about that.
He's got claws.
You were texting me about this.
He's got hands big enough to grab your butt and my butt, and we're sitting in different seats.
That's true.
That's with one hand.
That's true, man. But yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Stay tuned, guys. Listen to the final ever edition of the Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, New Jersey. Whew, this feels good. I can actually hear the headphones now. And now I'm being joined by Mr. Anthony Gabbianelli, the former, did I say now former sports editor?
Technically, it's after the fiscal year, which is in like July, but
okay.
For all intents and purposes, I have not changed my Twitter bio or any of my bios.
So is that when it's official?
I'll change it. I'll change it eventually. I just don't have the power in it yet. But yeah, I'm the former sports editor now.
Okay, former sports editor Anthony Gabbianelli, and now calling in from once again, as usual, my arch nemesis from an undisclosed location is Mr. Mike Cavalier.
I think this is the earliest I've ever been on.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Usually it's like 11:30.
Yeah, usually it's like 11. That's a good point. This is now this is not how many appearances, but this is like the 5th week in a row I think you've been on.
Yeah, I think it's like 5th or 6th.
The 5th or 6th. Like it's really something, and I'm happy you were here this whole time, and you're here for the very end. This is it.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
This is it, man. So
it's adorable.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Gabs. So basically, I don't have a planned thing to talk about per se. I thought it would be fun if we just talked about summer plans, maybe some summer movies that are coming out, what we'll be doing. Yeah. It's exciting because we're both graduating. Gabs is too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're all graduating out here, and it's a scary world out there for a toy, to quote Toy Story. But
more like a tool because you are one of those.
I knew you were gonna say that too.
Oh yeah.
Boo, boo.
No,
this man.
I can't have the studio boo me, and by the studio I mean just you.
Yeah. But I'm excited because hopefully this summer, Cav, we don't spend it just playing Fortnite nonstop, because that's what we did last summer. However, I think that's actually what's gonna end up being the thing that happens. Have you seen the Avengers Endgame update on Fortnite? Because I just saw it this morning, and it looks sick.
I saw a glimpse of it the other day,
mm-hmm.
but I haven't gotten a chance to really play it. So that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do when I go home.
Absolutely, and don't worry, guys. This isn't like spoiler related for Avengers Endgame. It basically features like the Chitauri people on one team, and then regular people, and you pick up like legendary Avenger items as weapons. There's like Iron Man's gloves that shoot the little repulsors. Mm-hmm. You could also fly. Thor's hammer that you can throw. Cap's shield, which you can block with, and it homes in on people. And when else, Hawkeye's bow, which apparently is extremely overpowered, which is very unlike a Hawkeye thing for it to be.
I mean, it's a one-shot every time in the movie most of the time.
That's true, but it's also a bow.
So?
It's a bow, dude. It's a bow. I've seen bows before. They're cool, but also they're kind of nothing next to the god-slaying. What's it called?
You're as cool as a bow. I'm going to say that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
hey, at least it's cool as something. I appreciate that.
You're overpowered, and you need to be nerfed.
What, Hawkeye?
No, you.
Oh, well, that's a... Oh. All right, I'm getting confused, man. I suck.
Yeah, you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to throw it out there, I am a bit sick. I'm under the weathers. This happened like this weekend. I have like congestion in my throat. So I'm not in the most uppity beat of moods. I'm trying, but it hurts to talk a little bit.
I'm going to try and get him out of it because I'm the medicine to his sickness.
Really?
Yes.
That might be true, actually, now that I think about it.
Of course.
So, Cav, hopefully, what else do you think we're going to do this summer? What else? Can you talk about that little thing that we plan on going to?
The lottery party.
Yeah, the lottery party. That's right.
Oh, man.
By going to... Let me stress that I'm being forced to go to this thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a draft.
I am not forcing Javier to do anything. I'm just threatening him and his family if he decides not to. So, for the last 4 years, I think it's been year 4. Wait, when did we go? We went senior year, right?
We went. Senior. I think it's senior year. Yes, senior year.
Freshman, sophomore, junior. So this would be year 5. I think that was the first lottery party, the one we went to.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be year 5 of the lottery parties. And back when we were seniors, the Sixers were not very good. And there's this podcast called The Rights to Ricky Sanchez. And every year, it's like a Sixers podcast run by a couple guys that like the Sixers. So one of them works for a radio station, and one of them was out in LA. And basically, because they were so bad, and the only thing that the Sixers fans would look forward to would be the NBA draft, they decided to throw a lottery party, because the Sixers would always be fighting for the top draft spot. So they decided to host a party for the draft lottery, because that was pretty much like our NBA finals.
Right.
So we went to the first one. I believe it was at a Buffalo Wild Wings, no?
It was Buffalo Wild Wings, yeah, right outside Philly. It was in Philly, but it's like right on the outside of it, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, yeah. Sure,
if you say so.
Okay.
So
okay, I see how it is.
And so now with the Sixers being good, last year they had the Lakers pick. If it was, I forget how the sorry,
come on, man. What's wrong with you? I thought you were Mr. Process. What's going on with you?
Fake fan.
You know what? The draft enters one year and leaves the other. I believe last year they had the Lakers pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had the Lakers. Just straight up, they had the Lakers pick. That's what it was. And so we still had, some rooting interest in the lottery party, so they had it that year. And now this year, it's they're billing it as the lottery party to end all lottery parties. Mm-hmm. And it's because this is our last chance of having a lottery pick, hopefully for a long time, because we have the Kings pick if it is number one overall, and right now it has a 1.1% chance of conveying. So, and basically. Okay. Like, of the Sixers getting the pick, of it becoming the number one pick.
I just like messing with you. Continue. Please continue. This is riveting stuff. Riveting stuff.
The lottery party is basically just, 1,500 to 2,000 crazy Sixers fans getting together and celebrating the legacy of Samuel Hinkie and all the process heroes that have fallen before, that have gotten us to the point we're at now. And this will be the lottery party to end all lottery parties. And
Right, absolutely, man. And I'm really excited to pretend that I'm going and then not go the last second. Just want to.
You did that one year.
I did do that.
Wait a minute.
Did I do it?
You did that. You did that one year. I forget when it was, but we were planning on going, and then the day of, you're like, "No, I don't want to go."
Maybe that was when we went to visit our friend. You remember when I was like thinking back and forth whether I wanted to go or not? I waited until the day of. That was funny. My sister, by the way, shout out Maritza Reyes, the homie, texted saying, him and his family, ... eyebrow raise, referring to you when you threatened me and my family if I don't go to a lottery party. So shout out to her for listening. Love you. Yeah, man, here's the funny thing is, how you feel about the Sixers, because it's been a long road. I mean, you look back at senior year of high school and then look at it now, and all of a sudden they're in the playoffs, and they still have players they can't shoot. So what has that transition been like?
You just needed to get that Dege, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I needed to. I'm sorry. I've been saying this for a year. Do you know why I keep saying this to you? Because you got upset with me when I said, I think it's a problem in a playoff game that there's this dude on a supposedly, team that can make the finals, that the team is just like, yeah, it's fine that he's open from 15 feet. That's fine. That's a problem, Cav. That's all I said. And you yelled at me. And you were like, it doesn't matter. He's good without being able to shoot. You went into that whole Sixers diatribe nonsense that you always do. Right. I was just saying, I think it's a problem that we're watching a playoff game. I haven't actually watched the Sixers enough this year, so maybe it's changed a little bit. But I just think it's a problem watching the Celtics without their two best players. And they're like, yeah, that supposed best player on their team, he could just, be open from 15 feet out. It's fine. Whatever. We'll allow it. And then they lost 4-1. So there's that.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
They're tied 2-2 with the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference semifinals. I'm playing against Kawhi Leonard, who
has the biggest hands in the NBA.
There it is. I was trying to set you up, Gavs. What? Yeah, you love Kawhi Leonard, huh?
I have not realized. I haven't seen him in 2 years because last year he was hurt.
Yeah.
but I completely forgot how big his hands were. And now that you have this radio show, I can now show my affection for his hands alone. Kawhi Leonard's hands are so big, they can grab my entire butt, my 6'7" butt. And I'm sitting in a chair right now with one hand, both cheeks. I'm telling you. He palms a basketball like it's no one's business.
It's true, man.
He carries it like a briefcase.
It's true, man.
It's unbelievable.
This is an astounding take from
I know. He could hold a Subway foot long.
He could.
Probably with just his pinky. He could probably curl it around the whole sandwich. Hands are so big. My God.
He's good, man. So, yeah, in fairness, the Sixers are playing an incredible player, you know? And
with humongous hands.
It's 2-2. I didn't get to see yesterday's game. I've only seen I think it was game 2, I think, of the series, barely. But, I don't know, I haven't been watching the NBA playoffs as much, aside from the Rockets every now and then.
To be completely honest, I did watch the first 3 quarters, and then I left the place I was at because I thought the Sixers were going to win, and I got the ESPN notification saying that they lost, and I'm like, ooh.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Probably because Kawhi Leonard's hands clapped the entire Philly team.
Gab, do you have anything to say about this?
I think that I haven't personally looked at Kawhi Leonard's hands.
Watch the footage.
Or notice his hand size, but I'll put up JoJo's hands against Kawhi's hands any day of the week.
Nope.
Hey, I mean, JoJo's got easy. JoJo's a monster, man.
He is a monster because
let's be careful.
Because that's where he's supposed to play. He is playing the position he's supposed to be. He has the body type of that player who would play that position, much like a Shaq. But Kawhi Leonard, for his position, to be holding a ball like that with just one hand, he's holding half the basketball.
He is.
That's a huge benefit.
It is a huge benefit.
He could spin a globe and it would just go ricochet around the room because he would spin it so fast it would go off the hinges.
I like all of these analogies you're using.
I
Did
know.
you prepare them?
No.
Okay,
I'm really surprised that I'm making these up right like on the spot.
It's really impressive, man. Congrats.
I know.
But you know what? I'm just realizing now that I've spent way too long allowing Cav to talk about the Sixers and you. I fell into the trap, ladies and gentlemen. It took him all these shows to finally do it. I messed up. I was only going to do this for a second. We're moving on. I'm not allowing him to spread his Sixers propaganda. It's just, it's really terrible. What makes me the most frustrated is that they really did, achieve, their goal that they set out. That's what makes me frustrated. Because it's just, I mean, they've made some mistakes, I think, but for the most part, they played correctly. He also got mad at me the other day when I suggested that it would be cool that there's a 30 for 30 that talks about the culture of how the process became a thing, because there's never really been anything quite like it where it's just kind of openly, brazenly tanking.
Yeah, but you can also just talk about the Nets and how they did the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that it's interesting because the Philly fans more or less kind of bought into it after one point. And that became like their brand. And I don't remember a team that it became their brand. And then he yelled at me. He's like, so you're saying nobody's ever tanked before? It's like the Philly fans, if you do anything to upset them, they lose their minds.
He also became Scooby-Doo when he was talking to you.
Yeah, he also became Scooby-Doo. They lose their minds.
Javier, the 76er.
Ben Simmons, and then he just
lost
it. He lost it. He lost it on me. He's like, "What do you mean?" I said they could be the finals. How dare you? They're better. They're the best. Trust the process.
Trust the process, brother.
But yeah, the Philly fans are just—they're funny. You said it correctly. They're mean, but they're funny. The Philly fans. I think that's the way. They could be really funny.
Yeah.
You know? The problem is that they're mean. They're mean and they hate everyone and they're awful people. So
as long as you don't get, as long as it doesn't get under your skin, they're fine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I never been to a Philly game in Philly, but I don't know what I'm talking about with this, so I can be completely wrong. With that being said, I do want to try and go out there this summer or sometime later this year, whether it's for a Phillies game or for a Flyers game.
It's really interesting though, because their fan base has this. I, too, like to call myself a fan if I boo players a lot. I didn't realize that that's what constitutes being a fan, if you look at baseball right now.
Full of it.
You know, I got, it's just interesting. It's like, oh, you had a bad game, and we boo you now. Because we're fans, and that's what fans do.
Well, we're here for the entertainment. I want to see the guy that we pay, how much money? Like over $300 million?
Yeah, and also, I like it when...
To hit a baseball and not go 0 for 4.
Yeah, I also think that there's 162 games in the season, and it's not like he's not trying. So I don't know. I don't feel bad for
Last
Bryce
year he
Harper,
didn't
by the
try.
way, because he very clearly chose
Not to
the
try
Phillies.
last year.
No, not to try. He very clearly chose the Phillies over like the Nationals. Like he definitely did.
Yeah.
Because they offered him, I think Cav can check me on this, like the same amount of money more or less, or at least a little bit more. I don't know what it was,
No,
but
well,
the Nationals
or less years. Was it less
Nats-
years?
The Nats do this thing where they like to defer their contracts. They did it to Scherzer, and they offered. I forget what it was, but it was pretty much it was the same deal. It was maybe like 10 for 30, 300, but they deferred like over $175 million to be paid out until like 2082. So Harper was like, "Nah, I'm all right."
But yeah, it's just unbelievable. It's like his second game there. He goes 0 for 4 and 2 strikeouts, and they're booing him. I'm like, what are we doing? This is fans. Like, this is what fans are. And Phillies aren't the only people that do this, by the way. Philly fans are not the only ones.
Yeah,
who
New
do
York
this.
fans are just as much.
Yeah, New York fans are awful too. Do not get me wrong. But it's just like, what are we doing here? I'm also not a booing guy. And also, no, I'm ending the Philly talk. Stop it. Nobody stop. I'm not allowing this anymore.
I'm just saying.
This is not how it ends.
The Nets didn't make anything big out of tanking the last couple of years.
Ooh.
And
well, I mean, that's because they weren't tanking for a reason. To be fair,
well, they were
like they didn't have their pick, so they had kind of nothing to lose. Philly made a big deal because that was their mission, and they're like trying to.
The
prove
mission
to
was
people.
to lose.
They're trying to prove to people like we're doing the right thing. Yeah, and Brooklyn was like, we're losing because we're losing. Not there like wasn't a goal. They didn't have their pick for a while. And now I just defended Philly. Yeah. All right, moving on. Summer movies. Summer movies. I'm not allowing this anymore.
Detective Pikachu.
Good thing you didn't get,
Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
You're lucky you cut me off before we got into the Nets tanking talk.
Detective Pikachu is going to be the best summer movie of all time.
Okay. That's a take.
Not including Endgame.
That's your take?
Yes, it's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see a real-life Pikachu.
And
I'm going to be the first one in line for that.
Early press says it's the best video game movie ever made, which is not saying too much, but it's also.
You want to know why it's the best movie? Is going to be the best video game movie ever made? Because they had the actual company who made the game in okay involved, everything. Yeah,
involved, yes.
They okayed every single design of the Pokemon. And I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, but I am level 38 in Pokemon Go, and I'm still playing to this day. But when I saw a real life Cubone, I had to change my pants because I just went.
Okay, Cubone is the one you're gonna ride for.
He's my favorite.
Cubone's your favorite.
Absolutely.
To be fair, my favorite is like Hitmontop, so I probably shouldn't be making fun of you.
He dances when he does his little stance.
Yeah. See, you know.
Of course, I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. Of course, I would know that.
His little dance.
Yeah,
you just did the most adorable little dance in the studio. For everyone who doesn't know, just look up Hitmontop GIF, and you'll see it's like his battle animation
his
before
idle
you
stance.
select him or whatever.
It's his idle stance when he's out in the fight.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And I used to use that GIF all the time, but I forgot about it. Anyway, so Detective Pikachu, Cav, are you interested?
Yes.
All right, good. I think what's funny is we did play Fortnite a lot last summer, but also we saw maybe 9 movies last year. Yeah, we saw Solo, we saw Deadpool, we saw Infinity War, we saw Ocean's 8, which our friends that were with say I'm sexist for not liking. So shout out to them.
That's not true. I caught myself. I was going to say a bad word, but I'm going to say it, but in a nicer tone. I heard it was a terrible movie.
It's not terrible. It's just painfully dull, and there's a lot of like flat air.
So it's bad.
It's not bad though. I wouldn't call it a bad movie. It's the same thing with Solo, where I don't think that's
that's also a bad movie.
But it's just painfully like fine. There are like good things done in that movie, but you're just like, it's forgettable. That's really the best way.
I think
if
you use
arguably worse than bad.
If you use the term painfully to describe something, I think it's bad.
It's a fair point. But
speaking of Anne Hathaway, also coming out on May 10th is her new movie, The Hustle.
Oh, right. I am not. Don't even get me started. On Rebel Wilson.
You okay, Rebel Wilson?
I was gonna say Reba, but I know that wasn't her name.
What? You have a take on Rebel Wilson?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
She needs to stop being in movies.
Oh my god.
Anyone really connected to the Pitch Perfect franchise deserves to not be in any more movies.
How dare you disrespect Anna Kendrick like that?
I like her. I'm really trying to like her, but I don't think she's been in a good movie.
Well, she has. You ever heard of Scott Pilgrim?
I have not watched that.
Whoa.
I also just don't like
There's
Michael
your problem.
Cera.
There's your problem. Who else has been in this? Rebel Wilson, Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks was in Power Rangers. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
Massive hit.
The Surprise of the Summer a couple years ago.
Oh, and Haley Steinfeld. I knew I was forgetting someone.
Oh, well,
Don't ever disrespect Haley Steinfeld. I will.
She was in the second one, no?
Yeah, she was in the second one, I believe.
I only watched the first.
one.
I watched the first Pitch Perfect. Thought it was so bad I didn't want to watch another movie for a couple months.
Anyway, Cav, have you seen Pitch Perfect?
Nope.
I suspended myself from watching movies after watching Pitch Perfect with my family.
Let's get happy then instead of talking about this. So, Aladdin.
Oh,
You guys interested in Aladdin?
That's not going to be a good. That's not going to be good either.
Well, because Dumbo. Here's the thing. There's a lot of there's like 3 Disney. I don't. This is a bad term. Like live action remake movies that all came out this year. That's Aladdin, Dumbo, and Lion King in summer. I didn't realize that Dumbo. I don't know if it was good or not. Was it good? Based on
no
like,
one
the reception?
saw it and it tanked.
Yeah, it tanked, right?
Now
Nobody
I have some. I
actually
have some insider information about this.
Really?
My brother, who works for ABC, which is part of the Disney Corporation, his boss.
Inside scoop on the Digital Dash.
His boss is the mouse himself. Yeah, that one. He said that it was surprising to me that when they really aren't advertising Aladdin as much as I thought they would be. It's because of how poorly Dumbo did in the box office. It underperformed so much that they're thinking about stopping all these they're thinking about changing up these live action remakes of all these movies.
Yeah.
Because of how bad Dumbo was.
Wow.
Because
Cinderella, I didn't hear anything about that movie. I forgot it came out.
Cinderella really wasn't that good of a movie. It really didn't perform that well. The only one that really did well was Beauty and the Beast and
Jungle Book.
And Jungle Book, but both of those really aren't remarkable movies.
Well, people really like Jungle Book, though. I heard people really like Jungle Book.
I thought it was all right.
I think this might be a reflection of just which properties people actually care about.
I think it was good because I think it was something that people were interested in that no one really touched in a while.
Okay.
Because Beauty and the Beast is only 20-ish years old, and it's an animated movie that's timeless.
So you saying, do you think Aladdin's not going to do well? I think it's actually. I think this might be Will Smith's best movie in a while.
I think it will do well. I think it will do well, but I don't think it will be critically acclaimed.
I think it's going to be fine. I think this is a story that kind of is fine for a remake. I think it just fits. I feel like we haven't seen this type of aesthetic in a while. I'm fine with the way Genie looks. People got to relax. What is with people judging movies only based on the visual look of a character? Why does this keep happening? We do this every single time. It's whether it's an actor for the 2 seconds Alden Ehrenreich was shown off in that first Solo trailer. It's guys, that's not what's going to determine whether the movie's good or not. Same thing with the DC movies. That's not going to determine it. There are way too many other problems. We keep doing this every time. And the latest trailer, though, with Aladdin, you could tell that they were saving the whole new world thing because that trailer just kicks off. I saw the trailer for that movie, and when a whole new world came on and they're flying on the carpet, I was like, all right, I'm in. At first, I was on the fence, but now I'm in. So we'll be seeing that.
I kind of forgot that it was going to be a musical.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be cool.
Well,
directed by Guy Ritchie too. Good filmmaker.
Before we get to Aladdin, we still have a Dog's Journey to go see.
Oh my God! Don't ever say that to me ever again.
As much as I like seeing.
I thought that movie came out, and I was unfortunately mistaken.
I thought that movie. I knew that movie came out already because it came out in January. It was just it was just a different movie with a different dog.
Yeah. Oh.
A Dog's Life or something.
Oh no.
Oh,
A Dog's Journey. Is that the same one? That's the same one he just mentioned.
Okay, is this the one with the trailer that shows the entire movie?
Yeah. It was like the first. Wasn't it for Captain Marvel? No, it was before Us too.
I think it was around when I went to see Captain Marvel though.
No, it was before that. It was early.
You're right.
Early January, late December.
Oh, I saw it for Spider-Verse. That's what I saw it for.
Yes.
Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Shout out that movie. Movie. Although the hipster culture surrounding that movie is starting to get a little annoying. Where it's anytime any movie comes out, people are like, love the movie, but Spider-Verse better. It's all right, can you guys relax? I love that movie. I've seen it 18 times at this point. But
I can see it again. Just
relax a little bit, people. I don't like hipster cultures that surround movies every now and then. It's like how Scott Pilgrim keeps getting brought up every 5 seconds. It's guys, movie's good, but it's not an all-time
I hate Michael Cera. Next question.
Anyway, next question. You hate everybody, dude. So another movie that's coming out this summer is one that, Cav, have you seen these movies? Have you seen John Wick?
Nope.
Yes, I need to see this.
You have to immediately. Yeah.
This was the summer of getting back into movies, I think.
Oh man, I'm excited. Parabellum. These movies are
Parabola.
they have the parabolum,
Abacus.
however you say it. Cav
Well,
hasn't
you
seen the
tried.
first two. I have. The first one of those
Wait,
classic
wait,
surprise.
wait.
What?
How, Cav has not seen the first
I
two.
know, man. He hasn't seen them.
Dude, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, here's one thing you got to learn about him. He's very empty on his movie knowledge until I'd say honestly the last like year and a half. Like he just started watching. Yeah,
months.
he's like starting to get back into it. And then I like how he gets mad at me when I ask if there's a movie he's seen. He's like, "Of course I've seen." I'm like, "Shut up! You hadn't seen like Godfather until like 4 years ago or whatever it was. So leave me alone."
As much as I am a fan of Italian cinema.
Oh no, you're not going into this take. I don't even want to know where it's heading.
I
don't even want to know where it's heading. I'm not even kidding.
I was a very young boy when I saw this movie, and I fell asleep.
I don't care.
And I don't think I've seen the movie since. I accept the fact that it's a good movie.
I need you to stop talking.
That's it. That's my take.
Talking.
That's it. That's my take.
You will get no.
No.
Anyway, moving on.
That is my take. I saw it when I was a kid. I fell asleep watching it.
So John Wick 3.
I
What I'm
accept that
excited
it's a good
about
movie.
is Halle Berry's in this one. All right. Now the first John
Why-
Wick, one of the great shockingly good movies. When it was coming out in the shows, I was like, oh, here we go, Keanu Reeves. Breaking news: not a great actor, but he's a fun actor and we like him.
No,
this is like
no,
a fact.
you can't. No, you can't say that, and you can't just tell me to shut up when I have my Godfather.
Okay, don't you ever compare Godfather takes to Keanu Reeves.
I am not comparing
No,
that. I'm comparing your ruling. Did you just turn off my mic?
Yes, I did. That's right. You're done for a couple seconds. You're in timeout for a little bit. So, moving on. John Wick 3, very excited.
I'm gonna curse at you then in this side of the mic.
Cav, we're watching that when you get back home.
I'm gonna say it.
Oh wait, did I turn off?
You turn off.
Yes. Cavs. I knew I did something wrong. There we go.
I can't hear myself.
I know, I heard you too. So, Cav, we'll be seeing that immediately after you get back. Needless to say. Next movie.
So it's like a day one. We'll do a double.
Yeah,
feature,
day one.
Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and then.
Next movie to go through: Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Are you interested?
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little
We're
bit.
not even gonna spend time on it.
What about you, Gabs?
I love the first Godzilla movie. Like the first one, the first one with Elizabeth Olsen.
It was fine for me.
I loved it.
I always think it's a problem.
The father, the Mitt himself, loves that movie too.
Mm-hmm.
We are both pumped to see it, and we need to see it again before we see this one. And we're both pumped to see this new one.
I think it's always a problem when you kill your best actor 30 minutes into the movie, and it's so clear that was the only great dynamic performer you had. Maybe next to Elizabeth Olsen, who wasn't in the movie enough. I just think that's a big flaw of the movie. It's just a take I have. You killed Bryan Cranston way too quickly. Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen Godzilla from like 2014 or whatever it came out. Interesting movie. The first trailer for this movie, man, when that came out of the summer, that made me tear up. The first trailer for this movie is phenomenal. So, Cav, I recommend just looking up the first trailer for the movie. That's enough. That's all you have to see, okay?
Okay.
That's your assignment. Next movie, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Would you like to marathon all the X-Men movies, Cav?
Boo.
So, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Boo.
I feel like that should probably be what happens. How many are there?
There's the first one, the second one, the third one, the Origins, the Wolverine, First Class, Apocalypse, Days of Future Past. There's about 8. I think there's about 8. So I might be missing one.
Is Logan
nine,
in this
9.
universe?
Yes, kind of. Not really.
Did the Logan we see take place in this universe?
It takes place after Days of Future Past, maybe, and it is an alternate reality from there on. That's what I think.
Okay.
It's never really confirmed, because then if you take Logan, spoiler alert for Logan, if you take that movie and that's like the official storyline, all these other movies have this thing in the background where it's like, oh, every one of these characters died. If you go by what happens in Logan, they all just died.
Okay.
So I'm taking it as it's a sequel to Days of Future Past that is an alternate reality from there. Like there's 2 paths. One is the main canon movies, and then there's an alternate one. That's how I look at it, or at least how I like to look at it, because Logan's very sad. But I love that movie anyway.
Okay.
All
right.
Some of them very good, excellent actually. Some of them age beautifully. Second X-Men movie is very underrated now, and I think people forget that was truly like one of the first hits, I think, when it comes to superhero cinema. The third one very bad. First one cheesy. Origins
X-Men?
Wolverine bad, very bad. Origins Wolverine. Then
I just know that
First Class is good. Days of Future Past is great. Logan's phenomenal. And then Apocalypse is pretty bad. So it's a mixed bag, but they're still worth watching.
Dark Phoenix is going to be a bad movie.
I'm not confident.
I'm calling my shot.
I do like Sophie Turner. She looks like she's gonna be cool in it. Apocalypse messed up though. I don't like that they made another. They should have made. They should have made Apocalypse focus more on just the new mutant, like the new upcoming kids. They didn't have to make it all about this world-ending
Wasn't there supposed to be like a horror?
New Mutants? Yeah, I think that comes out. I don't even know. For the next movie to talk about, The Lion King. We touched on Disney live-action movies.
Yes.
Lion King coming out this
It's
summer.
not even live action.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Right, you know what I mean, dude. Enough. What's wrong with you? Get off my plane. You ever seen Air Force One, Cav?
Yep.
That's the one.
Yep. He's like that dude from Storage Wars. Shout out to Storage Wars. You ever seen Storage Wars?
Of course, I've seen Storage Wars.
Yep.
What do you think what do you think I do with my dad when we're both really tired and we're just in our basement?
Oh my gosh, same, dude.
Yeah.
Except not in the basement, the living room.
We just both lie on we lie on different couches, watch the TV, and just every time he says "yep," we go "yep."
We were not Pawn Stars, but hardcore Pawn. Just want to make sure I
a little bit of that too.
I remember me and my dad loved that show for like a solid weekend. That's what we watched for 48 hours straight. Great show.
We were into
just phenomenal.
We were
stuff.
also into Pawn Stars for a good amount of time. Then we realized like, oh, this show is fake as hell, as heck. You might want to retract that
just in case. Yeah, I'll dump it just in case.
This show is fake as HE
right,
double
just
hockey
stop.
sticks.
Moving on. Very excited for The Lion King personally. What about you guys? Cav can go first, not Gabs.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the original Lion King, but I am excited for this new movie. What are they, like a stacked cast, like just absolutely
it
unreal.
really is. It really is, just like the original was. But now it's the new age of it.
They have Beyonce, they have Childish Gambino, they have Seth Rogen, they have my dad, they have Billy Eichner.
Is Eric Andre your dad?
They have Eric Andre's he's daddy.
Dump that just in case.
Just dumping that.
Man, come on, Gabs.
Oh, the father just texted me and he's asking when he should call in.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to at 11 when everybody else is in.
At 11 because he doesn't know anyone in the Montclarion. So
well, too bad. Cav doesn't know you, and you just forced yourself onto
I
the show.
know Cav. I know him since we were kids.
Okay. What's the
number? Yes, of course. What's the number?
Not right now.
Why? I gotta text him.
Text him. It's 973-655-4256.
All right, hold on. I'm not even on the number.
Oh my God. Anyway.
973.
Go to the WMSC website. Well,
you go to the WMSC website.
You go to the Twitter. Go to contact. I'm going to talk to Cav now. I'm very excited for the movie. There's a lot of questions in terms of, it's one of the great animated movies. That's not necessarily my opinion. It's just kind of the universal opinion of people. The conventional wisdom. Thank you. But still, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm very excited for it. Stacked cast. Looks a little bit weird. I don't know if it could look better than the original movie. The original movie looks great, just with the classic animation. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But I'm still excited. We'll be seeing that for sure. Next movie, Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. Wow.
Yeah, we might. Do we have to go back and watch the first three?
Yeah, we probably do.
It's been so long.
I saw the third one not too long ago, but I haven't seen the first and second one in a decent amount of time. Or no, I did. I saw the first one 2 years ago, but still, that's still a long time for me. June 21st. This is it. And this is one of the more controversial movies, not in terms of anything that the content of the movie has, but just because the third one, I think, ended so beautifully that a lot of people are saying, don't touch this. It's a golden trilogy. It's absolutely phenomenal. All the movies, despite what Kayla Marcato says, who's a fool for not liking these movies, I must say. But there's a lot of worry and my take is, I think that if Pixar didn't have another idea, I don't think they would have done it. They have plenty of other franchises and movies to make for money. You know what I mean? I don't think that they would just do it for that. So I'm confident that's going to be quite good. The reports are that Tom Hanks had trouble reading the last scene because he kept tearing up.
Boy.
So there's that. I'm probably going to cry like a baby.
I actually can't find the phone number.
Only movie for me to cry in besides Avengers Endgame is Toy Story 3.
I actually can't find the phone number.
Good.
Excellent. Do you want the father to call or not?
No.
No, you don't?
I do, but enough. Your face. Your stupid face.
You're stupid.
973.
Oh, no, I gotta go to the text messages. Hold on.
Oh my god.
I got 973 already. That's the easiest one.
973.
Yes.
655. 4256.
4257. 56.
Yes.
That's the one.
Were you being kidding about that? Because 6 sounds nothing like 7. Okay, I don't know where you got that from.
I joked about that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
good.
I made a bad joke.
Let's move on to the next movie.
Bring out the
next big movie.
Bring out the French Revolution style guillotine and put my head in there.
Trailer just came out for it this morning.
Oh, did it?
It did.
Oh, you mean Spider-Man, the one that you don't want to talk about until later today?
Yeah, I want to dive deep later today. I gotta save something for later, man. Would you? Gabs, why do you do this to me?
Little did you know, I'm gonna pull a Shyamalan twist right about now. I've been running the show this entire time.
Whoa!
And I've been telling you what to put on your show.
Mm.
And I can't believe I'm saying, but you're fired after today.
Okay.
You're fired. You've been doing such a.
I think I've been fired by 7 separate people from 7 separate organizations and things lately. So there's that.
As in, so the Montclarion was one of them.
Montclarion, Amanda Cease of WMSC fired me because I didn't know who Soccer Mommy was.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shouts to her. But yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home, man.
That's 2 people and you said 7.
I didn't feel like going through the rest, man. Gosh, you're the worst. Cav, you see what I have to deal with every day of my life? It's very similar to you, except arguably worse. So, Spider-Man Far From Home, trailer just came out. Hold on. We have a caller, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, I told him to call now.
Hello. What is going on? Okay. That dropped. I think, okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Hello. Who is on the line right now? You're calling the WMSC. Is this the Mint?
Maybe. I don't really.
Is this him?
Who's that?
This is him.
Okay. I couldn't tell for a second. What's up? Anthony DeGennaro calling in, interrupting my segment. What's up?
Not only did he just call in, but he texted me, "I'm calling."
So now we've got people on the Skype. We've got people on. That was a weird laugh.
Leave me alone. Like, the worst thing I inherited from my dad is his friggin' height laugh. So you gotta bear with me here.
Okay. We're talking about movies coming out in the summer. Do you have a take? We were just talking about Lion King. Do you have a take?
Oh, do I have a take on the Lion King?
Yes.
Or like movies that are coming out during the summer?
First the Lion King, and then you could do a general take too.
Okay. My take on the Lion King is that it didn't need to happen, but it's got a fantastic cast, and it looks pretty good. So
that's good.
You look pretty good.
More power.
I haven't seen you today, and you look pretty good.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Cav, do you agree?
I've completely hijacked.
Do you have a thought? Do you have a thought, Cav? Are you still there?
I can't hear what the guy on the phone is saying.
Oh, really?
Are there more people on
Nope.
the line? Oh my god.
Wait, could you guys hear each other?
Yeah.
No, not he's calling in through Skype and you're calling on the phone. I have never done this before, actually.
Is there any other way I can get more people connected to this?
No.
This is the first time for everything on the digital dash.
Yeah, this is
even if it's the last show.
I don't know. People probably hate this, but it's all good. They probably hate my show
cool.
too. It's fine.
It's
fine. Yeah, they could deal with it. Now, Cav, I'm talking to you now. You there? You there,
Okay.
buddy? Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any takes on Spider-Man? Quick takes. Did you see the trailer yet?
I have not seen the new trailer yet.
It's unbelievable.
But that's the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as we hang up here. I'm excited for it. It'll be our first post-Endgame film. I'm excited, or not excited, interested to see, where it starts and how how society is functioning. Is he in school? Is he in college? Is he?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's interesting.
Gonna be interesting.
I find it
They'll
interesting.
answer some
This is the first trailer that I can remember where there was a spoiler warning at the beginning of it. I don't know many trailers that do that. Very, very odd times we live in. It's better than the trend of having, what is it that they do? They have the trailer before the trailer that you're already watching. That's just ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have seen that for online stuff.
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's like, why? We're already watching it. Like, this literally makes no sense. I don't understand this tactic.
I want to know what I'm watching first.
Shut up. Shut up.
Well,
Cav, do you have any other thoughts really about anything really? Anything? I don't even know at this point because there's 1, 2, 3.
Well, we
4 people.
We missed a couple movies.
Did we? Yes, we probably did. I just couldn't find a good list to go through them all. So please go through
Men
them.
in Black. Men in
Oh,
Black
right.
International,
No one's seeing that.
14.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
No one's seeing that.
I'm gonna be the first
Wow.
one in line to go see the new Men in Black.
Wow.
Get out of my sight.
Well, the Mint is also going to be the first one in line to see
One of the Men in Black
Sonic
isn't
the
even a
Hedgehog
man.
Too, so.
Why do you keep referring to me as the man?
I don't know. It's fun.
That's not who I am.
Thick as a brick, whichever one you want, man. Whichever.
Oh my God.
That's one of my favorites, honestly.
Can you refer to me from here on out as prison snitch?
What?
Can you refer from here on out as prison snitch?
I don't know what you just said.
Prison snitch? You know, like
Prison
in
snitch.
prison?
Maybe.
Are you talking about your Twitter names?
Refer to me to that.
No, but he's still the Mint on Twitter right now.
I know, but I'm talking about his previous ones. Because we refer to him as the father all the time, but he's still not. He hasn't been the father in
Dude,
months.
I changed my Twitter name like 80 billion times throughout the course of the time I've had that account.
Mm.
It was like Daddy, and then like the father. Oh my God!
Really graduating up,
There's
stepping
so
up
many
the,
at this point. What
going
am I
up the
even now?
steps
I don't
there.
even think I'm still the man. Okay.
Anyway.
Can you change it? Can I offer a recommendation to change
No,
it to?
you can't.
Why not?
Yes, you absolutely can.
See, I'm taking over the show, Javier. Little did you know.
All right, hurry up.
Change it to Spunk. S-P-U-N-K.
Spunk.
Spunk.
Why don't I change it to my Discord name? It's like Spordungmer or some shit.
I don't know. Don't. You can't.
That's why I call
Change it to
myself-
Sonic because you're just so in love with that trailer, apparently.
They,
So.
they don't sing shit.
Meow.
All right. Anyway, Cav, go through the rest of the movies quickly before these two imbeciles keep talking.
Sure.
wanna
Well,
be on.
pretty much the only thing besides Men in Black, the only other one is Fast and Furious presents
Yes,
Hobbs and Shaw
yes.
August 2nd.
Yes.
No one's seeing that either.
Oh.
My God, who is this? Where did you find him?
I have no idea.
I
Well,
just crawled
Anthony
into
is
here.
known for having some pretty horrific movie takes.
You're pretty horrific.
Thank you.
As just a human being.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great comeback there.
I'm surprised
No, seriously,
Anabella let you have a
Anthony's-
show.
I'm surprised too. Well, technically it was a band that allowed me to have a show. But whatever. It's I'm really excited for it. The last trailer for Hobbs and Shaw. What do you mean this is going to make it? What are you talking about? Have you seen the Fast and Furious franchise?
I know people are gonna see
Did
it.
you
I just
see
don't think
the
it should.
trailer?
I don't think it should be seen.
Did you see The Rock use what is that he did? He grabbed a helicopter and was pulling it back onto the road. Have you seen this?
No, because I don't.
Easy $1 billion,
because I don't like-
Gabs. Let's be real.
I understand that this is gonna make a lot of money. It's just
Yeah.
a dumb movie that should
No,
not make a lot of money.
No, it's going to be great.
And a general audience is gonna go see this is dumb.
Fast and Furious is called the epitome of the good bad. They not even that. I don't even want to call it good bad. They're just phenomenal action movies. And if you're not sold, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Don't you
Me?
agree, Mr. Mint?
No, I hate that franchise.
They're
Oh
so
my
dumb.
gosh. They're fantastic. Cav, are you still alive? Did that hurt you? Because I know he just started watching these movies and he's in love. So Fast
Listen,
Five,
it's okay.
phenomenal.
It's okay to have some wrong opinions sometimes.
It is. It really is. I mean, I don't think Anthony said one thing correct this whole time,
I
honestly.
don't think you've
For
been.
being real.
I don't think you've been alive and said one good thing.
Oh, that was good. I like that you just take what I say, then add a little bit more. It's really creative. I really appreciate
No,
it.
you got him.
What?
Listen, we all have some bad days.
Yeah.
We all have some bad days. Just as What?
One last question,
Go for it.
movie question. Where do we stand on Shaft?
I forgot that was coming out. Oh my gosh,
Is that-
Shaft.
Is that the
I'm a little upset. It's not Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg playing Shaft.
What is that? I think I know what that we're talking about.
I don't know
right
if
now.
I have enough time to even get into Shaft. It's this old, like, I think it's like from the early 2000s, maybe. It's just
No, dude,
2000 exactly.
70.
what? Huh?
The first
2000
movie
2000
was
exactly.
1972.
Oh, really? Oh, was that the remake then? That was 2000.
Yeah, the remake was 2000.
Okay.
The original Shaft is an amazing movie. Like it's fantastic. But then
Shaft.
they remade it with Samuel L. Jackson as like Shaft's son, and then they're doing it again with whoever this guy is now as Samuel L. Jackson's son, and then the original Shaft is in it too. He was in the first one. I don't know.
Are you looking up Shaft
Thanks.
right now?
Okay. Cool.
When are we remaking Shaq Fu?
It already
Shaq Fu was remade already.
got remade.
I want a movie.
just as we pass the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, talking about Shaft for some reason.
Would you be thinking? Would you have ever thought that on your last show you'd be introducing us at the last in the next hour talking about Shaft?
Maybe.
Oh, all right.
Maybe. I'm like Doctor Strange. I saw all the possibilities.
It's the best movie.
Mm-hmm.
Best Marvel movie.
Anyway, Cav, you have any final thoughts? I'm sorry that all these people hijacked your moment, but to be fair, you did sneak in your 25 minutes of Sixers propaganda, so I think we're even.
I think it was your fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone against Javier. Let's riot. Woo.
I mean, it makes sense. It's fair. You know, it makes sense. It's 4-on-1 right now. You know, it's like the. I don't want to make that joke. So, Cav, any final thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I want to say, I think I've probably been on the show, probably 10 to 13 times over the course of the last couple of years.
To be exact, you were on 11 times counting today.
Wow, look at that. Right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed every time. It's always the highlight of my Monday, and I forget when you had it over the summer, but whatever day that was on, it was the highlight of that day too. I hope when you actually have a radio show outside of college that you continue to have me on. But thank you to all the Digital Dash listeners. Chris Beek for always liking my tweets when I'm coming on.
You're welcome. You're welcome,
and,
Cav.
Same with John, actually. John always, throws the tweets love. So it's been a great run, and thanks for having me on this many times.
No problem. Anytime, Cav.
I'll see you soon, buddy.
See you soon.
See you.
See you, bud.
All right, so that is Mike Cavalier signing off, and
the Mint is still here.
The Mint is still here. Mint, would you like any final words?
Yeah, is this Pizza Castle?
Okay, that's it. You're done. You don't even get to say anything else. That's it. You're done. How do I even drop this properly? There we go. So now we're in the second hour, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to call quickly because one of my next guests apparently only has until 11:15. So let me call him live here right now. That's the
via Skype.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Hello.
It's Mr. Robert O'Connor, the pure one, back. He's back.
Calling in for the finale of the Digital Dash.
The finale of the Digital Dash. So that's right, everyone. It's me.
God.
It's Anthony Gabbianelli. It's the pure one, Robert O'Connor. And one more guest. Finally, I'm going to let her speak. Hello. That's Dominique Evans, managing editor, technically former managing editor. We're all former now of the Montclarion.
It's true.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
We've been trying to get this appearance for,
You've been trying to do.
I've been trying. Maybe the whole semester. Is that fair?
She made it.
Yeah, she did make it.
I made it with Rob. I'm excited.
That's good. That's good. Very soft-spoken. I appreciate it.
You can ignore me too. That's fine.
Yeah.
I've been on the show.
Hi, Hubbo.
Just
Monday morning.
Just hearing your voice makes me all nice and bothered.
See, I'm already now more energized now that I hear the three of you.
Oh, thanks, man.
You are the coffee that I needed this morning.
Oh, you drink me up, baby.
Oh, you already know.
So, Rob, since
Yes.
I didn't realize you only had until 11:15, so what do you want to talk about for 10 minutes?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? It's your show.
Well, I was going
to
to talk. What is with people today? I wanted to just talk about the Montclarion, man, and all the memories we made. It's hard to do all the memories we made in 10 minutes, but alas, that's what we got to
try.
Okay, wow. I think Dominique made a list. What kind of list?
Oh my gosh, she's so prepared.
I know, she's like prepared.
I just made topic lists, but I didn't write anything specific down about the Montclarion. So.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what.
Well, we'll get into that after Rob leaves, because I'm really curious to see what you wwrote down.
Now
so just tighten it up.
Oh, you know.
All right.
Well, what's up, Rob? Just go. What were you? I don't know what's going on.
What were my favorite memories of the Montclarion? Well, I guess training Javier's up there.
Aww.
And all of our good times. Getting to know all the editors, like on our trip to Kentucky and stuff. That was great.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just learning how to do the paper every week. And I kind of got thrown into it, but we all kind of learned together, and it was a really good growing experience and a great way to make some amigos. So it was a great experience, and I think that any listeners that are kind of skeptical about maybe joining it should at least give it a shot, because you never know, you might make some great friends.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So just to reemphasize and make sure everyone's hearing, all of us were part of the newspaper I was part of it for hold on. 1, 2, like a year-ish,
Okay.
technically. I started writing my fall semester of junior year. So I wasn't on the staff technically until later that year.
I feel that.
That's how time
yeah,
works,
I did.
I think.
I started September of 2017, and I finished till I graduated last semester, so about like a year and a half. But it was a solid year and a half.
Yeah, Rob's an official graduate. We're all just soon to be graduates. So he's got a lot of experience on the streets.
Together, so
he's got the experience. Yeah, true. He's got experience on the streets. I have to admit, this is just a strange time we live in. You know, we're about to graduate. You already graduated. Do you have any tips for us?
If I did, I would have followed them myself.
Okay.
So no, I'm just as lost as the rest of y'all.
Hey, I get that, man. I get that.
Yeah, but it's okay. You know, we're finding ourselves and such.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
you're
crazy.
about to have a show end, so like, do you
I
feel
know.
like the creators of Friends must have felt in 2004?
Maybe Friends, maybe Friday Night Lights, because that's a show that I actually like.
Is it really
is a better
15
one?
years since that show ended?
I don't really like Friends. Friends is fine. It's a show.
Oh, you picked
and
the
it has
wrong group
things.
of people to say that in front of.
Really? You guys love Friends? I don't hate it. It's fine.
Dominique, were you wearing
I'm
your
not one of
Friends
those
shirt
hate
today?
people. I don't.
The funny thing is, I almost wore it. I couldn't find it, but that was my intention. When
Well,
I
in my
wrote
heart, that's what I'm picturing you in right now.
it. Please do. Please do.
What are you picturing me in right now? Rob, what are you picturing me right now in?
The sloppy
Oh,
shirt.
I don't think I can say that on the air.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you're-
as long as you keep it
I'm
as long as you keep it as G as possible, I think you can say it on the air.
you know it, yo. This is the finale. We got Stephen Colbert and Patrick Wilson listening right now.
Wow.
I'm picturing you in that. I'm picturing you in that sloppy crop top we made.
Absolutely, my nipples just hanging out.
What a fit. What a fit.
Oh my God.
And Javier, I'm just picturing you in a Spider-Man shirt.
Honestly, close. I'm wearing a Life is Good shirt.
That's not close at
All
all.
Well,
Not
Life
bad,
is
not
good
bad.
with Spider-Man, so there. Boom.
I suppose he's doing fine.
He's right.
I feel like I need to give Anthony a timeout for a little bit.
need timeout.
All right,
Oh.
Anthony has a timeout for a little bit.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
It's just so much lip from this kid this morning. It's unbelievable. It
Hello.
really is.
Sassy. You had a whole weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
I invited you to a party. I can't even say anything, but I'll get back when I'm done with this
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah. You'll be suspended until 11. No, 11:30. No, 9:30.
Oh,
That's
my.
how.
11,
You were-
9:30.
Hey, I'm really sick, guys. Chill out, okay?
You're quite the
I didn't realize you were
disciplinarian.
stupid too.
What?
I didn't realize you were also stupid.
Yeah. I'm also stupid
Ooh.
too. Nobody can hear you though, so I had to say that for them.
I think everyone.
So Javier,
Yes.
do you
What's
have
up?
any? How was your Cinco de Mayo?
I didn't celebrate, and oh my gosh, yeah, that happened,
That
didn't it?
happened.
I totally forgot that happened.
It was on
I don't
Sunday.
celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I don't have friends who party that much, so I'm not
That's
that
fair.
type.
All right. Didn't even make yourself a little Margie?
No, I don't know.
All right.
I was fine. I
fair.
was just doing work. I was enjoying the what was I doing? I watched some Game of Thrones.
All right.
You know,
all right.
Rob, for everybody who doesn't know, Rob is a Cersei fan, which is the most
obviously.
Rob thing ever, I'd say,
I'm
right?
sorry,
for
but
that
she's
to be his
gonna
favorite.
win. I'm not going to say what happened last night in case any of your listeners didn't watch, but she's that girl. You know,
Yeah.
there's no stopping my queen.
Yeah.
You can't. She's
You guys
fine.
watch
You
Game
should've
of
saw
Thrones.
what I
You too.
won't say what she did last night, like I said, but ooh, wild.
Yeah, I'm not an
Wild.
avid,
Talking to the microphone.
Yeah, I'm not.
You can lower
May?
it.
I don't want to lower it because it like.
You just
wouldn't
have to.
stop
You just have
lowering
to.
before.
You just have to do these things.
Blah, blah,
Oh yeah, Anthony's
think
out
it's
from
good.
suspension now, so I'll let him talk again.
Good, good,
Um,
good.
But
So yeah, man. I mean, it's just crazy. We had our banquet
crazy.
thing for the Montclarion this past Friday. It was really cool. We passed the torch. Really, it was a passing
Yeah,
of the
we
torch.
did.
Passed the torch already.
It really was.
And
Yeah,
you
but
don't
it
even
felt
work for the
like
torch.
official.
It- yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt like more official. There's a lot of awards given out, a lot of superlatives, a lot of food given out.
True.
That was my
There's a lot
favorite
of
part.
There's still food in the office if you need to go back in there.
Oh,
It's crazy.
now you're
Y'all
speaking my
lucked out.
language.
A
I
lot
should have
of
made myself a
presents.
plate because
Mm.
Heather Burzak, I believe
Yeah.
she did like the planning for that banquet, right?
Yes.
She did.
You mean the new editor-in-chief of the Montclarion?
The
Heather
new
Burzak?
EIC.
That's right.
Yeah,
She
breaking,
crushed it.
somewhat breaking news, maybe. Not
No, it's
really,
not breaking
really,
news.
right?
That's
Well, for
not-
people
did
to
it
listen to my
break that
show,
news?
because I haven't talked
true.
about the paper in a while.
Wow.
So there's
Talk
that.
Well, there you
about the
go.
paper
Well, she
every
did a
week,
great job,
Javier.
and
I
she's gonna
do.
do amazing.
Ask
That's why,
him.
that's why I come in here for.
That's true.
What'd you say, Rob?
I said she did a great job at doing that little as her first official EIC duty.
Mhm.
So it bodes well for the future of the Montclarion. So that's good.
Yeah, there was a nice video that was done for Haley, who unfortunately couldn't make it.
She couldn't.
She couldn't
Boo.
make it. I tried though, folks. I tried to get the editor-in-chief of the paper.
That's why you
But
have
I
a
tried.
radio show after this. Like, if you have your own podcast, you can have whoever you want at any time you want.
Oof.
Sounds
We
like
should up a podcast game, Javi.
We really should. Let's
do it.
We'll see.
Once
We'll
you
see
finish
what
Game
the
of
future
Thrones, we
holds.
can finally talk spoilers.
Oh, that's gonna be. It really is an amazing pop culture moment we're living in right now. You got Avengers,
really is.
you got the Game of Thrones, and if you're into sports, you got the NBA playoffs going on right now. You've got
If you're
baseball, I
into
guess, coming.
Pokemon, you have that new Pikachu movie.
Yeah, Pokemon for video game culture.
I'm
That's a
hyped.
big
I
deal.
want to be the first one online.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be great. I really think it's gonna be great. Not this like all timer, but especially when you compare it to other video game movies, I think it'll be
Like
very
Sonic.
good.
Like Sonic.
Oh, Sonic.
Top 2.
Oh, Sonic. Do you have any takes,
Sonic.
Dominique, on Sonic?
He should do hedgehogs bury themselves?
Wow.
He should do that.
Wow.
Whoa,
from the top rope.
Oh,
man.
I've known her for 3 years, and that's the meanest thing I think I've ever heard her say.
Can the hedgehogs bury the... Well, here's the thing. I've seen a lot of talk about this on the interwebs and some stuff I've read where people are saying it's mean that they're redesigning him, and it's like these people work hard enough. And my take is, it's true. There are people working really long hours out here in that industry, and it sucks that they got to work some more. But also my take is this. I think it's a bad sign that one day after your trailer comes out, some random person on the internet already made him look better, just in theory.
True.
I just think that shows maybe you messed up a little bit with the design of this character.
Which
And then they took it
studio
back,
is
and they're
doing
trying to...
Sonic?
I don't know,
Is
actually.
it like
should
Sony
be...
or Paramount?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's Sony, actually. Let me check that again, though. It's a good question.
Yeah, because I feel like they're like really desperate to have like a franchise now,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and so like I feel like they're probably betting all their chips on Sonic.
It's Paramount,
So
yeah.
when they were like, "Oh, we're not going to see this movie," like even the Sonic fans are like, "It doesn't look like him," so they were like, "Wow, we're trying to like make a whole franchise out of this." So I think that's why they were so quick to like,
Did
be like "Oh, okay, no, don't worry, we'll fix it. Just please see our movie, buy our Sonic stuff, you know."
Mhm. Absolutely.
Doesn't Sony have
So we'll see.
Doesn't Sony have the production rights to Nintendo products?
Blur Studios doing this, really?
I think so.
I remember hearing
I
that
feel
they were
like
going to
they
make Nintendo movies. Like they were making
Blur
like an
Studios,
animated
awesome.
Mario movie, and it's coming out of Sony.
Oh,
What
well,
I-
that doesn't bode well now.
I like the whole like fan wishes that are going around right now, where they're hoping that this is like the start of a video game cinematic universe and
That's what
Smash
this-
Brothers and stuff.
God.
That's what they're saying with
I feel like
Pikachu,
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu. That this is going to be start a Pokemon cinematic universe.
Maybe.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
we gotta watch
Video
the
games
first
could
movie
work,
and let
though.
it like see how it's received before they start. Like, all right, this is our franchise, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It would be
We gotta
fun
start
though if
from
they
the
did like a
bottom up.
Smash Brothers thing, and at the end of it, they're just like, "I'm here to talk to you about a tournament, Mr. Pikachu." That'd be really cool. I would lose my mind if they did that.
If
I
you
don't,
say
I don't.
so.
It would be like really disastrous probably, but it'd be fun. I just think it's silly to think video game adaptations can't work for the movies. I think it's silly.
Here's my
Everything
one
Well, I mean,
question,
real,
though.
just looking through history, like,
Yeah.
What's your one
There
question?
My
have
one
it.
question is does Ryan Reynolds have too many fingers in cinematic
Oh,
universes
I was
right now?
I was
Oh.
very scared. Of
Yeah,
where
I
this
was
is
scared
going.
I was prepared for about 8 different directions for that to go in.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, does he have too many fingers? Like, I don't know if anyone's seen
So-
these pictures, but like, he has like 12.
He has 11 fingers.
So, yeah, he's got the Deadpool, he's got the Pikachu, and he's got
He
what
was
else?
Green Lantern. for a
Oh yeah,
time.
he was one Green Lantern.
I
That's
mean,
a good
I'd rather
point.
him
and then
than-
he killed Green Lantern.
True.
I'd rather him than like Chris Pratt at this point.
That's
yeah, you know how
Yeah,
my
you're-
feelings on Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of.
true.
I told you I sold that stock like a while back.
Yeah, I had
but-
stock
Me too.
early in Chris Pratt.
It is
I had
a-
it right
I had
before
it, like,
he blew
Zero
up.
Dark 30 days.
It's a good
Mm.
question though when you have.
I sold it. Not worth it. Not worth the trouble. You don't do that to the house.
Let
buddy.
Dominique speak, Rob.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. He
have a
only
lot
has
of
a few
emotions.
I
minutes.
know,
He's gotta
I
get
know,
it
it's
all
fine.
out.
I know, I'm just messing with him.
No, but I think it's important to have star power behind these films, but at the same time, if you keep having the same stars play these iconic characters, it can kind of take away from those characters themselves, and I think that that's something we have to consider when we have these celebs playing so many characters at once.
Well, it's kind of what they're doing with Aladdin, no?
Yeah.
I mean, the only real big name star in that movie is Will Smith, and he's playing the genie.
Yeah.
And everyone knows if Robin Williams was alive, God bless his soul, he would have probably done that.
Yeah.
True. They could have like had him come back like they have Mufasa coming back for the
Yeah.
Lion King.
Yeah.
If only.
I don't know. It's really hard to say. I don't really know. I hope Detective Pikachu does well, though.
It will.
You know, I hope it does well. I've
feel
said
like
this
it
so many
probably will.
times. I really think that the video game adaptations, and I think anime adaptations to a degree, are properties that Hollywood should take more of a looking at. There's just way too many video game stories and properties out there for you to not try it. Just too much stuff. And I feel like it's a lot based on property these days. You look at Marvel, it's just, you don't see like an original $70 million budget movie anymore. Not really.
Unfortunately.
Like, I don't think we're ever going to get something like Social Network necessarily again.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, who's
Well, I don't know. I heard
greenlighting
rumors that David Fincher's thinking about doing a sequel to that. With
Right. But that's like a sequel, though, and it's like it's more established.
True.
I mean, like,
Yeah, right.
do we ever get that movie if it was now? Because it's very property-based. I don't think that means that there aren't new ideas. I think that's ridiculous for people to kind of assume. Just because it's been in one medium before doesn't mean that translates to something else. Game of Thrones was, in quotes, kind of a new idea. That was based on a book series. So I just think it's ridiculous to think that. But it also does mean that it's very property-based these days. You need the IP. Anything with a superhero these days, just anything that people. What is that sound? Are you tapping on the street? I don't know what that was.
I am. I'm tapping on the street. I just want to make sure that the concrete is sturdy, and it is.
Concrete
So
jungle
good job,
out here.
Pagoda.
Rob, do you have to go now?
Yes,
and if
I
so,
do have to go back to work, unfortunately. But if any listeners want to come play tennis, y'all can come to Court Sense in Pagoda.
I will be there.
I'll sell you a court.
what an ad!
ad.
What a promotional
Javier,
thing. Just
You've
promoting
been an amazing
tennis court. Thanks.
radio DJ, and
Thanks,
I
man.
love coming on the Digital Dash, and this is the last time, so
This is the last time.
bittersweet, I guess.
It is
But at least you
bittersweet.
have to come on with Domino and Anthony, who I also love, so all three of you are amazing.
I love you too, Hubbo.
You're great.
Absolutely. One of the recurring guests, Mr. Robert O'Connor. I'll see you later, bud.
True. I'll see you later, dude. Have a good last show. Bye.
And that was Robert O'Connor calling in via Skype.
What a legend.
And now it's just you two.
Love of my life.
Dang.
Now it's just you two. But before we get into talking more and about whatever topics you wrote down, because I'm really curious to see what you wrote, we're going to take a little bit of a break, play some stuff for y'all, play a little bit of tunes. Play a little bit of tunes. I think that's important every now and then, right? It is radio after all. I think that's important to do. And just play a couple of messages and features and whatnot. So don't go away anywhere, everybody. We'll be right back. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You were just listening to Alaska by Maggie Rogers. I like that tune. It was a nice little tune. I'm being joined by Dominique Evans, former managing editor of the Montclarion.
True.
And that's it. That's the only other person who's here. I'm kidding. And Anthony Gabbianelli, former sports editor of the Montclarion, who's he's using a very suggestive gesture right now.
Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Boom. Oh.
You shouldn't be doing that.
You definitely shouldn't be doing that.
Is that in line with the camera there?
Stop it.
Stop it. There's certain people
There
that
could be
Don't
kids here,
Get him
Gabs.
kicked off the air.
Good. They need to grow up.
They need to. That's not how you grow
The
up.
funny thing is, there are tiny people all over campus today
Really?
in matching shirts, just walking around.
Huh.
I don't know what they're doing.
Are they children?
What if they're in the SEM?
Mm.
They are kids.
Okay.
There
So-
are teachers with them.
So then they're that.
They've grown up if they saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Defining moment.
Welcome to adulthood
Welcome to adulthood. But I don't want to talk about adulthood.
from the top
I
rope.
want to talk about the
Childhood.
Montclarion.
Oh, and okay, Montclarion,
Let's do
sure.
that
Yeah,
still.
that's why we're
Let's
here.
do that still.
And-
Okay.
That's what you had
I thought we were
advertised.
doing what we
That's
just talked about.
that's what you had
My
advertised.
transition was
When you
good
had-
too.
It was really nice.
Oh no. Okay,
I
fine.
know.
So Montclarion.
Yeah.
I have to admit, just to get into it a little bit, I wrote, we all have our senior goodbyes out, I think officially
True.
now, right?
Yeah.
So you guys can check those out on www.themontclarion.org.
I'll share it on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going to share mine too on the Twitterers and the Facebookers and perhaps the Instagrammers. That was cool. It was fun to write that. I got yelled at via text because I was really late with mine.
Yes.
By,
I was very
by
late.
Rebecca or with
Well, Heather made this like offhanded, like passive aggressive comment during the banquet, which I didn't appreciate. Where she's just like, "Hey, Javier, you showed up late, just like you were late with your writing your senior."
Oh, I
goodbye."
heard that. I heard that.
I mean, for the record, Heather, if she's listening, which I know she is, who isn't listening,
Everyone.
it was a good burn. I respect it. It was a great burn.
Yeah.
Heather has a really good way of, I think,
Mhm.
delivering those passive aggressive type of
Well,
disses. And I don't know, it just worked and it was really fun.
that's why she's the boss now.
the
That's why
funny
she's the boss.
thing is about my senior goodbye is that's probably the first article I've submitted on time. The
Really.
entire time I've been at the Montclarion. I've been more on the editorial side for the 3 years that I've been there more than writing. But that's the first article that I submitted on time and only by an hour,
Wow.
which is pretty funny. And every editor has been really great at keeping it under wraps that I'm always late because part of my job is telling everyone to be on time. And then everything is always 3 hours late.
But then she
Plot
comes to
twist.
me saying that, oh, this is late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That
I know.
It happens. Hey, people, we're busy out here.
I know.
You know?
looking at everyone else's stuff.
We might be a lot less busy once we graduate, unfortunately, for better or worse. But still, it was emotional for me to write mine. I enjoyed writing mine. The title is not what I wanted it to be. No, I'm just kidding. It was fine.
I knew someone was going to do that as their title. I didn't know it was going to be you or John though.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do that as my title. I just put always as my title. But then they added the 3000.
Oh, even you, I thought was going to do it.
I was going to add it at the end.
Mine is
at
the end. Mine is at the end.
But then I pulled back and I went with an office joke for my title.
That's solid.
So
That's solid.
I hope
it works.
people realize.
I sent you that. No.
What?
I sent you it
from
first.
The Office?
I didn't know it was from The Office. I just said it.
I don't.
Through Snapchat.
You might have.
I did. I know I did. Boom.
He did.
I help a lot. I help a lot of people out.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
You do. I wrote for your section once. You remember that?
You wrote for my section twice.
Twice.
Whoa.
Forgot what the two were, honestly. One was an editorial on the Warriors,
Golden State,
right?
yeah, that you gave me quotes for, and the other one I forgot was.
I said I was getting a quote, and you said, never mind, it's fine.
Yeah, 'cause it was too late.
No, not true.
No, because so we had a class on Wednesday, and I needed it before class on Wednesday, and you didn't do that.
I don't believe this.
I have the text to prove
Shots
it.
are being
What kind of
fired
chicanery
here.
is going on right here? I don't like this.
We can move on if you want.
Yeah, I would love to move on now, actually.
Well, I never wrote for sports. That's the only section I didn't write for in the end.
Oof.
You also told me you were going to write for me.
I did.
You
I
had a-
almost did.
She had a classmate who played lacrosse, and she even told me that she was going to interview her for profile. And you know what happened?
Didn't happen.
Nothing.
Well,
It should be mandatory in the
It's true.
new contracts to get to write one article for sports,
you should have.
or write an article for at least everyone.
What was your favorite article you ever wrote?
That's a very good question. I think I have like 3 that I really, really like.
This guy.
Because I
This
write.
guy.
I'm sorry.
You okay?
I'm great.
You should hang out more on the radio
This time
station
on
and
the
not hit
radio.
stuff.
It's great. Everything will be broken.
I think I have like one favorite article from every year I've written, but I think I think the Joe Madden one from my sophomore year is my favorite one.
You got to meet and talk to Joe Madden.
Because just like he managed the Cubs to their first World Series in 108
And if I'm not
years,
mistaken,
106.
That article came out after they won, right? It was that year that they won.
It
right?
was the year they won. And I was one of the only people to interview him after they won.
That was dope. That's a good, in all
Impressive.
seriousness, that's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
That's a pretty rad memory.
A resume builder.
It is.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. You interviewed Joe Madden,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who secretly basically almost blew the World Series for them, but nobody likes talking about that because they lucked out and they won. But still, man, what are you doing? I all this chat. I'm like, you're up by 7 runs. Why are you using your closers? And then he gives up the tying home run. It was unbelievable. I was like,
2 years.
I really think that was, you know how we were close to the stock market crashing completely in 2008? Like, we were very close to nonstop sports talk about how Joe Madden needs to be fired and have a Steve Bartman-esque type of legacy where he can't even walk outside Chicago anymore. That's how close we were. People really think he messed up. He would have gotten killed for that. Anyway, a little bit of a side tangent there.
She knew exactly what we were talking
It was
about.
lovely. Yeah, sports.
No, I'm just saying a side tangent for the listeners. But yeah, I do that all the time. What else do you have that you're proud of, Mr. Gabbs?
Articles wise, or just stuff I've done?
Both.
Sophomore year, that is my favorite article of all time. Last year was the Istora Williams one, and then this one, I don't know if I have I know I have a couple. I did a lot of articles this year, but I don't think I have like a favorite from this year. I think they're all like the same quality. I think. I don't know. I have favorite articles that people have written this year. Whether it's Corey's immigration story that he did for us, which is crazy. Probably the craziest story I've read from anyone here. And really anything Samantha's done, because she's that good of a writer. But the one thing the thing I am the happiest about doing in my time as sports editor is making a collaborative connection with Rowan.
Yeah, that was a good thing that you did, honestly. I remember that. That happened earlier last semester, right?
Yeah, and we really didn't have anything going on this year, just because I really don't think
Still
we
new. Still fresh.
Me and Jaden's the sports editor there. He graduates along with us, but we talked through social media more than anything. I kind of want to talk to him about continuing that with Samantha and whoever's taking over for him. So we'll try and get in contact with him for that. But it's important collaboration. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy to think about that. Tommy, do you have any of your favorite pieces that you wrote? Because
Yeah.
I know you weren't particularly the writing.
No.
You weren't always submitting stuff.
No,
You were the managing editor.
No, I was right before I did that. I started out as a copy assistant. Then I was chief copy editor and then managing editor. So I've had a lot of internal highs and feats at the paper. I think my favorite article that I wrote was actually off campus for a little place in Little Falls called The Fine Grind. I wrote an article about that because it.
Someone just died.
You're right.
It's okay, guys. Just killed someone.
It's an intern. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
You
an
can pay.
intern.
But yeah, I went off campus and covered the closing of her business because it only closed, I believe, if my memory's serving me right, for 9 days.
9 days, but it was like I thought it was like a questioning thing for like 3 days. They questioned it.
It was a questioning thing, and then they closed for around, I believe, 6 days, 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't a lot of information out there about the details. I won't name a news source, but a local news source wrote a story about it that didn't have a lot of information. So I actually reached out to the business owner and collaborated with our video editor for last semester. It was her first semester, and our first semester as the Montclarion with a video editor. And it was one of her first videos for us.
Shout her out.
Mackenzie Robertson, woo! She's gonna be managing editor actually,
Mm-hmm.
Going forward. So
Indeed
how the
she is.
tables have turned, because my proudest story I wrote with her. But yeah, just going off campus, covering stories with real people. It felt really great because it felt like I was giving, someone else a voice more than just people on campus, because it was a business that a lot of people on campus, kind of really flocked to. I know I used to work with Spoon University, and we used to always have our meetings there. So it was a great place for people on campus to go and study and things like that. And, a campus isn't just the campus itself, it's the town that it resides in, which is funny because Montclair resides in like 3 or 4 towns.
3 towns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been really cool, man.
Yeah.
I agree. There's a lot of favorite memories I have, too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember joining the paper for the first time. That was really cool. Wrote about this in my senior goodbye, so I'm not going to spoil the soon-to-be hit article, obviously. I mean, come on.
I haven't read any of these senior goodbyes yet.
I haven't read any of them either.
Interesting.
That was my thing. I wanted to wait until after. But for me, I mean, I think some of my favorite memories, just my first thing I wrote, which was about Cuphead, which is a game I like, just because it was about video games, and it was kind of cool that I told my mom I'm playing a video game for work. I just enjoyed that. It was just really cool. What in the world was that?
I was doing that.
Was that the yeah? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was really good. That was really good.
Does he snap or does he just do? Because I haven't played it myself.
I think he just goes like that.
There's
Yeah, I
other
think it just
things
goes.
happening right now.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
You don't know what Cuphead is?
I do know what Cuphead is.
Cuphead's dope.
Interesting.
Shout out Nintendo Switch for getting it. Been playing it recently.
Yeah.
Had to get it again. But enjoyed writing that. I wrote about the MUG, which was this Montclair University Gamers Group. That was really fun. Talked to a bunch of people. I really enjoyed how that came out.
Which you would think we called MSUG, but they wanted to go with. They really wanted the
Mug.
They really wanted Mug.
Yeah, hey, I mean, more power
But they're the
to them,
Montclair State University Gamers, so it's MSUG.
Yeah, but for the most part, I didn't do too much. Since I'm a commuter, it was a little bit hard for me to do more of the local stories and stuff like that, but I still did some. And I think I enjoyed doing my Mac Miller review, just because the reason I enjoyed doing it is because I did it before, obviously, he tragically passed away. He's definitely was one of my favorite artists. I love Mac Miller, everything about him. I've talked about this before on the show. It was a rough weekend for me.
I remember that.
It was also the same weekend Spider-Man came out, so that kind of really dampened my mood.
Yeah.
So that was really rough. But what I like is that I wrote it before he died, because I think that I gave a really objective look at the album, and just the fact that I wrote it before, because I didn't. Cause I don't know what my opinion becomes if he dies afterwards. I really thought I gave my objective truth about how I felt about the album, which was I liked it, didn't love it though. I don't know what happens if I write that later, and it was just really cool that it was, something that I got to do still. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed writing that piece for sure. Shout out Rob, who made fun of me publicly on Twitter for using a semicolon in the wrong place. So yeah, he keeps saying it wasn't me. He was like, my biggest pet peeve is people who use semicolons when you're not supposed to. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Was that your proudest moment, you'd say, writing that review?
No, I think my proudest moment was the April Fool's issue this year. I really enjoyed that.
Wow.
The one,
No,
that,
my
the one that
proudest-
doesn't matter?
Yeah, I think my proudest might be, I don't know.
It matters and doesn't matter in the same time.
I really enjoyed writing about Mario Party because it was ridiculous. When Sana, former opinion editor, was just like, I need content, and I was like, oh, you made a mistake coming to me, let me tell you. And then I wrote about how it's the best creation in the history of humanity.
Well, I think that's something you're really good at, Javier, is taking entertainment topics and kind of just going hard with them in a way that makes sense and is really enjoyable to read. I think that
Thank you.
as someone that does follow a lot of like entertainment and gamer news, I guess you could call it. I read GameSpot and IGN a lot. A lot of people, even people who are hired and out there in the real world working, kind of lose their audience a little bit because the writing's not as flowy.
Flowy.
Is that a
Flowy.
Yeah,
It doesn't
flowy.
flow as well.
But you have a really great flow when writing
Thank you.
entertainment. And I
Thank
think
you.
that it's
Thank you so much.
I think
That
One
it's
means a
thing
very
lot.
that-
enjoyable to read.
One thing
Thank
that
you.
she told me about your writing was that, and I absolutely agree with it, is that you said that he sounds like someone who writes for IGN.
He does sound like
Really?
someone who writes for
Yeah.
IGN.
Wow,
It's
that
true.
was wow. That's such a compliment. Stop it. I don't like this. This isn't allowed. You're supposed to make
No.
fun of me. What's
Uh,
going on? This isn't right.
When
It's
you
your
bring them
last show.
when you bring the Montclarion in, you're just gonna get the feels and not the
Yeah.
hatred.
That's
for
true.
anyone,
That's true.
as
Montclarion's
Rob
all
said,
love.
yeah.
Montclarion's all love.
Anyone who's
Mostly.
interested in joining the
Radio
Montclarion,
station, a little bit of
it's
hate.
love.
And then Video Production Club. I don't know. I'm not a part of the Video
I
Production Club,
am.
but yeah, you are.
Hi,
Are
I'm
they
here.
the hate types or are they the love types?
They hate the people who join them and get really involved and then just kind of disappear.
Yeah, the flame outs. Yeah,
So
yeah.
pretty much any other group.
Yeah, like college students, freshman
Mhm.
year, stuff like that. No
Yeah, do we know
offense.
anyone? Do we know
Hey,
anyone
some
that
people
joined
aren't-
us
hey, some
that
people
got
don't wanna
just
go
kind
down
of
that path.
quit?
We do.
Oh yeah,
I
we
have
do.
a lot. You want to out them? Is that what you want to
No.
never out. And
No.
that's the best part about the Montclarion. You
do?
can
Yeah, it's
flake
true.
on us and then come back, and
Yeah.
we'll let you.
Or try
No.
to at least.
You can't flake on us if you're like an actual
Well,
position.
no.
But
Not
if you're like a staff
contracted,
writer,
but
if you're like a staff writer, hey, you can write whenever you get the chance.
Yeah.
People are just
we're
and
just grateful to receive.
Yeah, we're just talking more like editors though,
You're
but like
writing.
whatever.
yeah, for sure. And you just complimented me, and that was ridiculous. I have to bleep that out. That's just that can't be.
The compliments? Or-
Yeah, that can't be allowed on my show. But
Is the FCC gonna fine us
You're
for
like,
that?
How dare you? Yeah. Just to say, I really have to admit, because this semester I think the dirty secret about all this is I wasn't really a part of the paper as much as I was previous semesters. I just got really busy.
Yeah.
I tried writing whenever I got the chance. I told people, like I told Rebecca, who's the opinion editor, and I told Thomas, like, yo, ever need content, just text me and I'll write it. That happened a couple times, and it just stopped, unfortunately, and I just got busy. But I still tried, and I'm going to miss it. But I hoped, I wrote about this in my senior goodbye as well, where I hope that wasn't mistaken for me just not caring anymore, because that's not true. Unlike some other people who just left, you know what I mean? Who just like, oh, I'm on to better things now. It's like,
Ooh.
no, give me a break. Yeah, one of them's probably listening right now. I know you know who you are. I love that kid.
Who ca-
But
who cares?
I mean,
it happens, and I still enjoyed writing for it. And I have to admit that this second semester, I really think more than just in terms of this year, I really think you guys killed it this semester. I saw a lot of social media, everybody from you guys.
yeah.
I remember there was a time, I think you told me this, where I was the only one who tweeted out
Yeah,
my article.
you were.
You were, and
And
you
it
wouldn't
was
just
really
tweet
funny.
your articles. You
Yeah.
would tweet every
Every-
article of the
Yeah.
week.
It became a bit, and I really enjoyed
You
doing
would
it. I'd
just
put the
be
red alarms.
The Twitter
like-
guy.
I'm like, you should be social media, and then you became social media WMSC. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
it was
what
like
happened.
it was fitting.
Yeah, it was fitting, and I think it was just fun to do that because I have this thing in my mind, right? Because for those who don't follow me on Twitter,
I'm a
at
genius.
Javipino, Javiipino, where I have a picture of a bunny from the hit series Sam and Max that you guys might be familiar with.
I know what you're
As
talking
my-
about. I never watched it.
It's a video game actually.
Sure.
By
Was it, no,
Telltale.
there's a show about it. No.
There is, but it's primarily video games. What I mean. And it's him with boxing gloves, this little bunny. So nobody knows it's me. And I also had my name for a while as Sage Javier of the Six Passes. I'm gonna change when I feel like I'm deserving of it again. I feel like lately I just don't deserve it. So hopefully I can earn it again.
I think you need to
Calm
throw
down.
your face up there, though. I think
do I,
that
though?
I do. I think part of working in media is to
Yeah,
an
that's
extent.
true.
This is getting all business, But
Yeah.
building a brand for yourself and letting you have all these great people who read your work and listen to you. They should know who you are because you do great stuff. You do great work, and I think pulling it back to the Montclarion a little bit. Your effect on the Montclarion as far as writing about different aspects of entertainment outside of music and movies is something that's lasting, because we do have a few writers now, like Adrian, who's doing things with video games.
And doing video content with
and
that,
whatnot.
too.
Yeah, and adding video content to it. So I think even though you might not have always had the time to write as much as you'd like, your dedication, especially in the beginning, to make it clear that there are more types of entertainment news than just music and movies.
That's what I try to do.
Something that's lasting with the Montclarion.
And I think that my only regret would be that I didn't join earlier. Honestly, that'd be my thing.
That's also mine.
Yeah, I mean, I like to look at it. This is what my mom told me, where it's like maybe you needed some time on your own to iron out the kinks and how you thought. I did my own little blog for a while, which I haven't written on since January, but still, I think it was cool for me to just maybe learn how to write by myself for a little bit, because I've been writing on my blog since I graduated high school. It was literally like the first week after I graduated. That was the first thing I did, because I didn't have friends. I still don't have friends. No, I'm kidding.
You're right.
But I think that's part of it where I wrote, because I don't think people realize, like, it's just like, I just sit in my room alone a lot of times. Like, I'll just be, like, writing. I also have the lights off, which everyone makes fun of me for. Yeah, it's just like, I'm like, it just helps me focus. I don't need light. I'm a vampire.
That's what I did yesterday. I just did work, and I did it with the lights off.
Hey, it happens, and it just helps me focus. But yeah, I really appreciate the good word. I really do think, though, that you guys really did a lot better this semester. I think every semester's been good, but I really think that, there's been some, not to out people, there was just some little bit of turmoil.
I love all the drama.
Previously. There's a lot of,
Who cares? We're graduating.
Yeah,
join
but there
the
was,
Montclarion.
Yeah, join the Montclarion.
If you want drama.
Yeah. But also, some breaking news people, every workplace is going to have some type of drama of some sort. I don't like this idea that people are like, I can't wait to leave. I know some people are like, can't wait to leave and all stuff. It's like, hey, breaking news, no matter if you get a job at Disney World, not Disney World, but like say, Disney World too. There's going to be drama. That's just how the world works. Some people are hard to work with,
It's true. I know, yeah. We have an insider.
But without getting too much into it, last semester was a little, kind of tumultuous in some ways. And I feel like you guys really bounced back, and just seeing, you had some new people in different positions. Alexis Spear for features, and Thomas, the homie Thomas Nira for entertainment, and Sharif as his assistant. I was also an assistant.
Rebecca too.
And Rebecca too, thank you. I almost forgot for a second. Just like all these positions, I really saw you guys like a lot. I saw all the social media stuff. That was really dope. Really appreciate it. It was funny. I like seeing Haley's like Instagram stories every now and then. They were just kind of funny. And I really thought that was awesome. And I think that the paper really did well this semester, as evidenced by the 9 wins they got, by the way.
Yeah.
That was wild. I was like, what? Oh my gosh.
Compared to the one we got last year, which was like a second place win.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was for the web project.
It was for web project.
So
I think that we did bounce back, kind of.
Now we bounce back.
Yeah, we.
She doesn't like that song either.
I don't know what that even song is. I just know that one part. I don't even know what that's from.
That's Big Sean.
Okay.
Between that song and Dat Boy, you can't say anything about.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have my own.
Wait, is Dat Boy the Tyler the Creator song or no?
No, Dat Boy is the frog.
Like
Okay. Who Dat Boy is the Tyler the Creator song? Okay, I love that song. Tyler the Creator, just random sites. Where did that album come from? This dude Yonkers and whatever, and Cherry Bomb, and all of a sudden it's like this deep, really beautiful album, and I love that record. By the way, better than like everything Drake has had out for like the last 3 years secretly. But whatever, it's fine. We could keep pretending that Drake is good. It's fine.
Early Drake is better, but like it's still not that good.
Drake is, Drake is like the Call of Duty of music at this point. Where
that's
it's
like, that is the truest statement to come out of today's show.
It's like, it's solid for what it is. You know what you're getting. It's not really evolutionary anymore.
Please tweet that out.
It's good though.
Please tweet that out.
You have to take everything out of your bio when you're done with school. You can just make that your new bio. Javier.
Drake is the Call of Duty of music.
I just changed my bio on everything. Funny enough, because we were talking about it earlier on the show. Like, he didn't know how to introduce me as sports editor or not.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's technically former, so I gotta change that now. So I just did.
Yeah.
And it sucks too.
I mean, I'll probably keep it until I walk across the stage and they go, you've got to get out. Then I'll go, okay.
Okay. You just got to get out.
That's when I'll.
Dominique, you're not managing anymore. Stop. Get out of my desk.
Exactly.
Sorry, Mackenzie.
Yeah. Fun fact, I cleaned out my desk a week ago and then proceeded to put things on the desk for a week. And
I rescued
know
my stitch.
It
That's
was
what I did.
confusing time for her, probably.
Did you take that after Friday?
Yeah, it was a rescue operation.
I know, but like after the after party.
Yeah, it took. Ooh. Did I?
Because it's not in my apartment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took it. Yeah, because I remember walking in the rain with him, trying to keep him. Like,
Kept
it'll,
him
like,
dry.
yeah,
Wait,
keep him dry.
That's such a homage to the actual Lilo and Stitch film, though.
Yeah,
when
of
he,
course.
You know,
Yeah, it's really, yeah, oh
Puck
man.
set in the rain.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, that whole banquet and after party thing, that was great. That we could talk about it. It's not really bad to talk about it.
We can talk about it.
There was a lot of toasts given. That was
There
really cool.
were.
Thomas was having a time.
Thomas-
Shouts to him.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas was having a time.
He had the.
He really was. I have a
was
video of both
between-
him and Rob. That
between
I'm keeping forever.
him, Rob, Jen, I would even say,
Yes.
and Haley, they had the most fun that night. You too. You had pretty much. You had a lot of fun too.
I'll
He
say
also had a lot of. I think everyone.
I think
everyone had a lot of fun.
Had fun.
Everyone but like 2 people, I would say.
Sorry, these listeners couldn't have fun with us. Sucks.
I mean, if they were part of the Montclarion, they
I
would be part of that after
know.
party, but they're not.
Well,
so
if they read our goodbyes, they can feel like they were there.
then you
Yeah.
make the decision as to whether or not you want to join, which you totally should because it is a
Yeah.
time and a half.
Look, I mean, just to get real for a second, people have this kind of ridiculous notion that, like, nobody reads anymore. Okay. Now, people
You
don't
need
necessarily
to.
read print as much anymore. That's true. People still read. All right? So if people are thinking, oh, I just want to go all in on video, it doesn't help to, I mean, it does. It helps to just be like, yeah, I also wrote about things too and exercised my voice, interviewed people, I covered things. Even if it's just writing a movie review, I don't know. Try to do more than just one of those things that I mentioned, but it helps. And there's still a lot of people who write. It's not like this, it's harder, I think, these days for sure. It's not the same because, I mean, you know, back in the day, like my dad always mentions, he found out if the Yankees won by reading the newspaper the next day. Now it's like you get it, 1 minute after the game ends? So that's different to a degree, and coverage of sports and coverage of entertainment and movies and stuff. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't write. I think there's this idea that's dying. People are always going to read, man. Like, sorry to break it to people, but like, guess what? Yeah, people are always going to read. It makes you smarter. I recommend reading. It helps. Not because you're particularly smart.
does.
If you just read, it'll help.
But
That's
I
just
think
kind of how it
also
works.
there's like an underappreciation for local news and entertainment. I think
Yeah.
that it's easy to pull from Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, things that are happening in the world, things that are happening in California, things that are happening in New York City, you know, but things that are happening in your community that you can participate in. And should be knowledgeable of whether they're good or bad, I think is something that is completely underrated. And I think that's why people should write and focus on trying to connect more with their local spaces.
Going more into the video stuff too, you can't make a good video unless you write very well either.
Yeah, you
And that's
have
something
an
that-
idea of crafting and organizing. That's what part of writing is.
And that's
for.
something that I think most of the video classes I've had kind of never really talked about that much. Even with our news lab class, we never really focused on the writing all that much.
Yeah, we
Excuse
didn't.
me. We just kind of, like, we had to write a script, and this is kind of, again, me ranting about news lab, even though I'm not in news lab anymore. We never really talked about how important the writing part was, and we just had to write a script until he liked it. And then we had to make a video, and then
Yeah,
try to
that's
make the
what
video
happens.
as much as perfect for him as it possibly was. And then we never really talked about how important it is.
And let me tell you, folks, I've read some writing from friends of mine. His name's Tyler. He goes to another school, and he's into the business world, and good for him. He's doing great right now. But like, some people really can't write, man. And I'm not trying to be this. I'm really
You're
not
just calling
trying
your
to.
friend out for not being a good writer?
Yeah, I've done this before. It's fine.
Can I say JC?
What?
Can I say JC on the radio?
JC. What does that mean? Just caring?
Just
Jacob Care?
No, I wore the necklace today.
Jack.
the dude.
JC.
Not really. I don't think you can.
Fair.
Just don't. But you know, it's true.
The
Like,
rule is, if I had to ask myself if I can say it, it's probably not worth saying.
yeah, I just don't know, because sometimes it's not even like bad words. Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
you just can't
Like
have
heck.
suggestive things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
darn.
But with this, and again, I'm really not trying to elevate myself or flex or anything like that. But it's sometimes if someone's
it's your
like,
show.
someone,
Do it.
yeah, but I still don't like
Your
doing it,
rules,
man.
your
I don't want to do
guidelines.
it.
It's your
Maybe I'll do it
show.
at the
It's
very
your-
last second. I'll be
it's
like,
your
I'm
life.
the king of the world or whatever from Titanic, or I'll play that from the actual movie. That some people be like, how do you do all this? And I just see a lot of people who want to write about things, and it's like, you kind of just do it. And
yeah.
nobody read my blog, and nobody really still does read my blog. Although every now and then something blows up. Let me tell you, when I wrote about Chris Evans at 2 o'clock in the morning last year, the thing has like 8,000 views. I don't know what happens. I was like, why do people And Avengers also is just crazy traffic, so you could do that too. But you just do it. I think people have this notion that, like, say, there might be a couple people who look at us, for example, and they're like, wow, they're, like, really good at what they do, and they run this whole newspaper, and it's like, yeah, but it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
People don't see when you, like me, for example, when I was by myself in a room, because I am really passionate about what I like, and this is what I want to do for a career, that I chose that instead of saying going out partying for a night. You know what I mean? I just wanted to really write an article. Sometimes it doesn't come to me, and sometimes I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, I should have just gone out. But that happens. That happens, and that's what happens for writing. I imagine that happens for any type of content creating field. So I think people have to realize that you just do it.
Yeah.
It's like the 0.1% of people that were just naturally like, bam. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think there's some talent, but there's also a lot of just go.
Yeah, even with that, though, I think that a lot of writing is rewriting. I think being open to constructive criticism, being open to revising, being open to cutting out half, that I think was always really scary to me, and working at the paper helped me with that. Like, when you have 650 words to say whatever you need to say, sometimes, like, your first 2 paragraphs are not worth it. Even though it can be beautifully written or like eloquent or whatever, you have to take it out, because if you want to monetize any type of skill you have, we're getting businessy again, but if you want to monetize any type of skill or passion, you have to not be afraid to kind of play with it,
fail and mess up a bit,
fail.
Because then, let me tell you, folks, when something finally does work, feels really good. Just to throw it out there, it's really great when you finally get your article published, or even if it's just on your blog, and you're like, wow, I like this, you know what I mean? I think there's a couple things I like on my blog. Yeah, you can Google yourself and all these things. I just think people don't realize that sometimes. And, people love, Donald Glover just came to mind. People probably don't realize all the nights that he was alone in his dorm in NYU writing some terrible rap or whatever. Probably people don't know that. That's not something that he said that he's done. I'm just saying, I assume he's probably had something like that, where he probably wrote some awful TV script. Then now where he is now is Atlanta, like 12, 20 years later. It takes a long time, and I think that you were talking about how you need constructive criticism. That's another cool thing about the paper is people edit your work, and they give you suggestions. Now,
it's not like a professional. It's just someone that's on your level as well.
Absolutely, and they're not going to demean you or anything.
I don't know what you utmost.
They're not going to demean you. They're just going to be like, hey, this is what you should do. You need more quotes, or you need to iron out this intro or whatever. You don't use semicolons too much, stuff like that, like with me. And
are those hyphens that are like bigger hyphens that like you have to press like 5 buttons to input into the computer?
Yeah. You talking about me again? I do the hyphens a lot too. I don't know. I'm just used to doing the long hyphen. I don't know. I can't get rid of it. It's just the habit now. But it's a process, and I think that the Montclarion is a great place to go. It's hard. It's not easy. But in my experience, you just work at it. You just write stuff, and people like it. Even if it's something you like. I mean, I took video games. I was like, I like video games, so I'm going to write opinions about Metroid or whatever. Another one of the first things I wrote, or Saints Row, and try and take that and just find a different angle or whatever. Movie reviews are always cool, and doing, I can't think of I don't want to say basic, but like the typical article or whatever. Like, that's also really helpful. I wrote a lot of movie reviews when I first started writing too. And I wrote a lot of game reviews and stuff like that. Now I write differently.
It's not even writing. It's just, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to do video, it's whatever
everything.
You want.
You just practice. You know, I really think people don't realize this is 0.1% of people that just started out when we were bam, and they were just great. You know, and you can't look at the end result. You got to look at the whole thing. You know, it's important. Wow, we got really deep there. That was great. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Deep Montclarion talk.
You're
it was
welcome.
great. Adulthood. Adulthood indeed. We're growing up. This is amazing.
It's crazy.
We're about to graduate.
You have one more hour of youth.
I know. It's nuts, man.
It's all you, dude. After this, we leave.
Do you guys want to talk about a little of them childhood video game memories?
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the original topic that I pitched. That Dominique pitched to me, actually.
I
think it was you. Because I asked, I think Anthony brought up, he was like, Dominique and Haley want to come on the show or something like that. Then I messaged you, and then you brought up like me and EIC, which is editor-in-chief, which I really appreciated.
Well, the thing is, I follow the show as best as I can, and I was like, I don't feel like there are a lot of women ever on his show.
Yeah, that was that was what started it. That was what started it.
Where are the ladies?
Yeah, like, so I went out of my way ever since then.
Yeah, so I was like, these topics that he likes to talk about on the show. I was like, there are a lot of females, especially on this campus, who are interested in those topics that you know.
Yeah, I know that
and
I know.
You're friends with, even though you say you have no friends.
Yeah, no, but it's just funny because...
So it was interesting to me that I was like, how have I never been on this show? And I was in 2 different clans.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
It's just, to be fair, a lot of times it was my same stupid friends every week who just all happen to be guys.
Yeah.
That's what it
Cav
started
is
out
not
with.
stupid. I'll say that.
You know what I mean? It is just funny just doing that, and people are like, "Yeah, man, do this and whatnot." So I tried that. I had some writers call in, an SB Nation writer, which was cool. I had my friends Kayla and Rada call in. That was really fun. And now Dominique, you know. Unfortunately, didn't get
Me
Haley.
to an extent, if you want
to an extent. I mean, we're all feminine out here in some way.
Honestly.
You know what I mean?
I guess Rob, and he's a boy.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that counts. But hey, it's a fair point, and not in the point that you're not trying to be malicious or anything. You just have to have because the end. It's like no, because I think naturally sometimes what happens to break the news to people. When people are different than you, whether it be by gender or race or some background, they'll just have interesting new perspectives that maybe you didn't think about. It just kind of happens that way because of the history of the world. The world didn't start yesterday as equal as it was before.
Yeah.
Not that everything's perfect now, but
no,
you know what I mean?
true.
Like,
We
it's
work
just
toward,
some people think like, oh, the world started. No, like you can't undo thousands of years of bad travesties by what? We're going on year 50 now. It's like, stop it. Like that's not how this works. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
So video games.
So video games, childhood video game memories.
Childhood
Is this what you wrote the list for?
There's a lot of things on my list. I write a lot of things down.
Okay, that's important.
'Cause that's
Pro
just,
tip, everybody.
Yeah, you just have to write it down. You think you're gonna remember, you're not. So yeah, I have a lot of different lists actually, but that's just me going through my own thoughts. This one in particular does happen to have a few video games on them that I played.
Dominique loves video games.
I do.
Big Left 4 Dead fan.
Left 4 Dead
Lost
is
her mind when I told her that they're doing a spiritual successor remake from Turtle Rock.
I did.
That's what's that? They came out recently, didn't it?
What?
The Left 4 Dead spinoff or whatever.
No, it was announced recently that a new one is coming out.
Was it true. Days Gone was also like
Days Gone is a PlayStation exclusive that I've heard mixed things about.
Yes, I don't believe in the PlayStation, but I'll let that sit for
you don't
never
believe in
again
the PlayStation?
because, you know,
the Nintendo PlayStation.
Yeah.
What?
Nintendo PlayStation.
I don't get it. Do you like Nintendo and PlayStation? Is that what?
No, I just making a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Because the
PlayStation,
because the PlayStation was almost a Nintendo thing.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, fine.
Sorry.
That was a deep cut, but
some
fine.
history,
I'll
whatever.
allow it.
It
Anyway,
flew.
so go for
alright.
favorite childhood games because I have some off the top of my head, and wow, my opinions changed on them when I got older.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. These are just basic ones. I played a lot of Sims. I don't know how many people are on there.
I feel like everyone in the Montclarion talked about Sims at least 7 different times.
Okay, Sims is just the best because once you get those cheats, you don't have to care about eating and sleeping. And if you think about all the things you can do, if you don't eat or sleep for 4 days, it's amazing. And we'd never know if we didn't have Sims.
Right. It's true.
How else would I know what a cheetah wall would look like if it wasn't for Sims?
How would
I
you
just
know?
live in
Just
the 70s,
think of it.
You know?
Exactly.
No.
And just to mention, as we just passed the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, my sister Marita's listening, and she might have had a stroke just after you mentioned The Sims because my sister loved. I don't want to say she has a bad relationship with The Sims to the point where she can't play it anymore. If she's still listening, where she gets too attached, so she can't play it anymore. I think this is a thing she told me about this, like when she had like a mental breakdown about the life and seeing a good life of a sim or whatever. Well, so dangerous kind of game for some people. I feel like
if you get too emotionally connected, like
there's probably a study that's like Sims cause. You know what I mean? If someone was like Sims has been linked to 80% of the problems behind video game depression, if there is such a thing, and they're saying one of the primary titles is Sims, it would not surprise me at all.
Here's the thing with Sims is you can create, if you don't like know a lot about The Sims, you can create characters or whatever. You create a family. And they can do whatever you want, career-wise, life-wise. They can look however you want them to look. And a lot of people, not myself, though, play Sims and create an alternate life for themselves. If you make a Sim, you name them after yourselves. You take all your favorite names and you put it in this game and you create this life, and then things don't work out. That can be super heartbreaking. Or if it does work out too well, that can be really depressing. But that's because you're, like, pushing a version of yourself into the game. Right. I think it's a way to explore, like, a complete, like, I would never be a scientist, you know, I would never, like, work for NASA, I would never be the president, so I'm like, I'm gonna make a Sim that's the president and go crazy and make bad decisions. Like, I have Sims where, like, my goal is for them to have the best life possible, and Sims where I want them to have the worst life possible. I'm like, what if this Sim, like, just, like, made all the wrong choices? And I think that that's super fun.
What if it just lost everything it loved?
What if it did? They just
that's
cry.
dark.
They actually just will like randomly like be doing an activity, stop doing it, cry, and then go back to it.
Mm.
So it's really interesting the way these Sims.
So
like,
you played that at a young age?
I
This
did.
whole career?
That was
I
on me
did.
yesterday.
I remember playing it like once. It might have been with my sister might have let me use her laptop or something like
Yeah.
that. I just explored with it. There was aliens that came at one point. I was like,
there
what's going on?
were.
So that was
You
really
could
cool as a
summon
kid.
them. That was.
I don't think
so
I had the patience
fun.
for Sims though as a kid. Not that it's
Yeah.
like not that it's like Civ 5 or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it's just there was more thinking, I guess. And as a
Yeah.
child, I didn't want to think
It's
at all.
true. It's more about
wanna blow things
thoughts
up.
than like actions.
Mhm. What else you got
It's
there?
true. Simpsons Hit and Run.
Everyone
was
played that. Yeah.
I didn't
such-
play that game because
The
I didn't like
GameCube.
Simpsons, so I didn't give it a chance.
Oof.
It was.
People
so
love that game.
fun. It's
People,
so
that's like
fun.
one of the great cult classic games I
It
can think
really
of. Where,
is.
well,
Yeah.
because licensed properties are always typically bad, so
Mhm.
for that
Yeah.
to be good is a whole nother thing.
Mhm.
Not all of them are bad. Shout out Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
classic, classic. Gotta
Like
go
the
to
video
Spider-Man.
game movie?
Yeah, it was the first
movie
like
video game.
yeah, it's one of the great. It was so good. Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto Spider-Man, as they called it,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah,
way too big of an
it was really
oversimplification.
good. Yeah.
But still, back then there weren't really a lot of
Games like
open
that.
world games. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There was literally probably like GTA 3, and that was
Do you
it.
remember when you could end up in like this world, like if you glitched the game where everything would be like blue,
Yeah,
and
I
you'd
remember
be
that.
and you'd just be like hello, and then you could find Peter Parker, and like
Mhm.
Peter Parker and Spider-Man were there together, and you were just like, what do I do now? And there was nothing to do. So you
Beat 'em
just
up.
run around in a circle, like, all right, well, we're stuck down here now.
That was something.
was
That was
great.
something. Really loved that game.
was
Like
great.
Ultimate Spider-Man, the comic animated one, which I like better than 2, just because I think the
Interesting.
story and the visuals look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else you got?
All right, I switch over to Xbox now. MX versus ATV Unleashed.
Mm.
It's my
I had to
favorite.
I had to Google this before
It was
when she told me
so
about it.
Good.
Mm.
It's literally you can get an MX or an ATV.
Mm.
You're unleashed on a track. You
You
gotta
just
try
go.
to win.
You gotta try to win.
That's it.
Fair.
Do
There
cool
you go.
tricks.
There you go.
It was fun. I did it for hours. It's one of the best like scores or gaming soundtracks I think I've ever heard
Mm.
in a game was in that game where it made you want to drive more because
Mhm.
the music was so good.
Wow.
First game that I feel like the music drove it for me. Shrek 2, the video game.
Yo, wait. Yes. Yo, I played that too. I played that too.
It
Oh
was
my gosh.
so good.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Yo, I used the gingerbread man like it was my job, man. It was that's like the brawler, the
Yeah.
co-op. Oh,
Oh, I know
played
you guys
that.
are talking about
Yeah.
now.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it was the
yeah,
only one.
yeah.
I remember playing the you know what out of that game.
Who's
It was
the one with the little basket? What's her name?
Little Red
Oh,
Riding Hood?
Riding Hood. How you could throw the apples at
Mhm.
people.
oh my gosh, that game.
Yeah.
This is different than Super Slam for those who might
Yeah.
be thinking of
Mhm.
that game. This meant oh man, I remember that. I want to play that. There's some
Yeah.
GameCube games that I really want to go back to and play with friends. That's one.
We have the Let's Play channel, so do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's true.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's a good
That's
point
great.
actually. I should do it.
Now this game, you might not have heard of. He hadn't heard of it when I told him.
Let's see.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Oh, I know what it
still
is.
forget-
By the Ghoulies.
Oh yeah, this
Hold
is
on.
yeah, I had to Google this as well.
Is this developed by Rare? Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
I don't think so.
Let me see if I.
It
yeah,
sounds
this
like
is Rare. This
it
is Rare.
is?
Yeah, I
I
know.
was
what
gonna say
you're
it
talking
sounds like it. Yeah.
That one
This
was.
is-
Noise.
It was like the first Rare on Xbox console or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like right after they acquired them. And considering the rest of Rare's like games that they made, it was
For the
looked at
Xbox?
as a disappointment because it's like they've got Banjo-Kazooie and Conquer, my dude, and all these games and
I mean-
GoldenEye and all this stuff. And
When you look at the animation,
yeah,
it's a joke now. When you're 9, so scary.
That's it.
there it is. I'm gonna make that
That's
my
the
new
one.
picture.
Dude, so scary when you're 9. It was crazy.
I can imagine.
Loved it.
What else you got?
Metal Arms.
Metal Arms I
5.
didn't play, but I know what it is. Yeah,
Glitch in the system.
Why do
It's
I
my
know what this-
favorite
why do I know
Metal
what this
Arms
is?
Game.
I know what it is, but I haven't played it.
You're this
I might have played
guy.
it.
I do know what this is, but I don't know what this is.
I'm just like going back
Yeah.
deep in the
You're
nostalgia
just
banks
like-
right now, and just
I'm
like
just thinking
Dark
about-
Cloud is coming to mind for me. All these games. What
Yeah.
was it? You guys ever play Scalar? It's like it was just like
No.
my
No.
favorite character as a child.
I think the
it was
weirdest-
a lizard.
I think the weirdest game.
Oh.
Are you sure it's not Gex?
No, it wasn't Gex. Gex was very inappropriate. I think.
No,
Maybe?
it was
I
like
don't
it was just a lizard who was like a secret spy or whatever.
Yeah, but wasn't he not inappropriate, but suggestive? I
Sure.
think that like the box car over WoW.
It was
cover
trying to
for
be.
one of
It was
them.
trying to be the face of
yeah, the
PlayStation.
mascot. Yeah.
The
But it
weirdest
ends
game.
up being
I
kinda
think the
Crash.
weirdest game I played
Hot
was
take: Crash Bandicoot, original one in the PlayStation. Not a good game.
agreed.
Doesn't age well at all.
I think the
Soon
weirdest
to be a
game
good
I
one.
played was Billy Hatcher.
Oh my gosh, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg.
Yeah.
That was from
Played,
Sega.
it was,
Oh man,
it was,
Billy
it was
Hatcher.
the
what a
other
guy.
Sega game that wasn't Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. What a savage.
As a
that
kid, all he did was just roll around a bunch of eggs.
I think I might have played this actually.
It was really fun.
It's interesting.
But my childhood, now that we're on me, finally.
I
Talking
had
about
more, but I
my
guess it's
childhood memory in games was I heard on cheatcodes.com that there was I was playing Pokemon Emerald,
Yeah.
and there's a white Poochyena that was a thing, and I'm like, I need to find that because that's cool. I was in there for about 3 hours in some woods in the beginning of the game, couldn't find it. I did find something else. I found a green Silcoon. That was the first shiny Pokemon I ever found.
Wow, shout out to that.
Yep.
Green Silcoon, not the best of Pokemon, but
And
still.
I thought the game was like bugged out or whatever. I thought it was broken. I'm like, I have to keep this, so I'm
That's
not.
cool. That's
I am
cool.
not evolving it because I thought once I evolved it, it would just be back to normal. It'd be like a normal Beautifly or whatever.
What
But
else? I remember what was another one? The Pokemon Stadium games were interesting.
those are cool.
The one dude looks creepy in the
I
first
played
one.
I started
Got a weird look in his eye.
I started those 3D Pokemon games with Coliseum,
Coliseum.
and me and my brother
Or
were
it
talking
was,
about
it was
this.
Coliseum. Wait, what was Pokemon Stadium? Was Nintendo 60? So I'm
4.
thinking of Coliseum. That was the adventure one.
Yeah,
That was Coliseum.
my brother and I were
was-
talking
yeah.
about this the other day. Do you remember Mirror B?
No,
The disco guy with the big afro, it looked like an electrode.
I don't know.
Look
Probably.
it up. Look him up.
Mirror B.
Yeah, and he had like the coolest, funkiest like theme. And I can picture it perfectly in my I can hear it right now just talking about it. That's a good
Oh
memory.
dear.
You remember him?
Oh dear.
He had 2 Lombre.
Oh dear.
He had a Voltorb and a Lombre.
He's got an afro, but it's
Yeah.
red and white.
Yeah, like an electrode.
Oh man. What a. Oh, okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's bad. Did you guys ever play? I have one game that is kind of infamous. You ever play Haven Call of the King?
I've heard of
Anyone
this.
Heard of this? It's this big game that was clearly supposed to start like a franchise,
Yeah.
and it ends in such a way that it never continued after that. So you got to look up the ending to this game because it's really hilarious looking back. Where the character basically just gets like, spoiler alert, like stranded on this place, and it's very much a cliffhanger. So, and it was one of those like platformers that was I think it was too complicated, and there's too many things moving around for it to work back then. But man, what a game that was! I just remember being stuck on so many different levels for ages. I want to play that again though, just to relive the memories.
Did you ever play Prince of Persia?
Yes, one of them. I don't remember which one though.
I just remember the movie.
So good.
Those are good.
That's one of those things that like died out, and then Assassin's Creed came along and like swept up that audience.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was so pissed because I wanted like the second one ended on like a kind of cliffhanger, and we never got anything else from it. So it's sad.
But yeah, before we wind down with you guys, just going through a couple more memories. In terms of good games, just straight up, like these aren't even they're like childhood games, but I played them also when I was older, like Ratchet and Clank for me. Still the third game, still my second favorite game ever. Up Your Arsenal, great. Shout out to the Ratchet and Clank games, by the way. All the titles of those games, it's just really incredible. First Ratchet, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Deadlocked,
I think
A Crack in Time.
I think the one game that is
Size Matters.
Always gonna
That's the
be-
most infamous one.
What?
Insomniac's hilarious. The name of the Ratchet and Clank game, the innuendos that they have behind them.
Did you say Crackdown?
No,
No,
I
Crackdown's a
said
good game too.
first one very
First
good.
one,
Second
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
kind of a disappointment. Doesn't work as much.
And I don't think anyone's. I don't know if the third one even came out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did actually. It did.
Oh, then I haven't heard anything about
I heard
it.
mixed things about it. I really want to play it though. Very addicting.
I'm hyped
collecting those
over. I'm
boards.
hyped over Halo, the Halo franchise coming to the PC.
Yeah. Halo.
me and my
not
friends
good
are-
anymore, but you know.
Yeah, no.
But they're starting with they're going to release Reach first on the PC. And it's going to be on Steam, and I'm going to play the ever-loving heck out of
the
it.
heck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
It's gonna be
think Halo 3 had the best custom games of probably any.
My first one was Reach. That was the first one that I bought and
My
played,
first
like,
one was
when it came
3.
out.
Now, Reach had a lot of good custom games based on all of the ones from 3, and I think there was a lot more like dynamic things you can do, but I liked the imagination. Like, there was still a little bit of childhood imagination that had to go into Halo 3 to, like, you had to have that investment, because that's before they gave you kind of more, like, smooth materials to work with.
I remember playing through the campaign with my friends for the first time, like, a couple years ago. And we would keep saying "finish the fight" dramatically. We would just text that to each other and go on. Like that was our code word for go on Xbox right now. And just go finish the fight, and then we'd go on. A little bit weird of a messy campaign. To be fair, I played it years after it came out.
I'm just talking about the firefights in general.
Why did a disco ball kill like one of the most important characters? What was that? I've been asking this question for. this disco ball just melts the back of Sergeant Johnson or whatever. It's
yeah.
It just I was like, what just happened?
Disco. Oh, he's talking about. Okay, yeah, he's talking
whatever
about that.
Thing is called. I don't remember. But it was just. I was like, this is the franchise y'all love, and like your boy just got melted by an orb. Like, okay, all right.
It's one of those things.
It just
where
happens. It
it's
doesn't
like
age well.
When you were saying you wanted to watch the High School Musical movies now, it's
Yeah.
the same thing where it's like if you experience some of these games for the first time, after the fact, it's just not going to be as good. Like I know I played with Haley, Bully.
Oh, one of my that's my third favorite game ever. Love Bully.
It was interesting, but
I just like everything in a school.
I wasn't invested.
It just
in
doesn't look good
it.
now.
The same way I probably would have been invested in it.
I still think that sequel's coming, by the way. And if
Yeah?
it does, oh yeah. Well, there's been some reports, man. I think that would be. They have the opportunity if they want to go in a certain direction to make the most controversial game like of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If they were like, it's now Bully University, it's rated M. Oh God, that's not. Whoa, man. And they would because Rockstar doesn't care because they just like press. And that game, of course, infamous for the Columbine simulator comment that someone from Fox made. Not to throw shade at Fox, but also to throw shade at Fox. Like made that comment to even play the game. And I remember the day after he said that, they released a screenshot, which was the guy giving this other kid a wedgie, or whatever. Like that was their response. And what's funny is the game is not really about being a bully. It's about bullying the other bullies, essentially. It's really smart writing, as all Rockstar games kind of are. But I love that game, and I'm gonna replay it after I'm done with school because it's awesome. I love that game. I just think it's really unique too. You don't really have a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, man, I don't know. What other childhood gaming memories?
Like not even. This is a few years ago. Did you ever play the free game Doritos Crash Course?
Yes. Oh my gosh, my friends and I. This was my
say no to that. I have
going into my junior year going into my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
That summer, man. Oh my gosh, it was Call of Duty Black Ops 1 Zombies.
Yeah.
Woke up, ate food, stayed in my room the whole time. My mom's probably listening. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's all you did." And Doritos Crash Course. We played that. Oh my gosh, my friend like mastered it and got like all the achievements or whatever.
Yeah.
It was incredible. We love racing each other. Call of Duty Zombies, man. It was called The Dead for some reason was the map that we liked playing. I don't know, with George Romero.
The second Call of Duty. What is it? They have this map called Buried City. I got the Easter egg for that one.
Buried City.
Buried City.
City.
No, is it in the third one?
I don't know. Maybe it was probably in the third one if I can't, because I remember most of two.
It's probably in the third one.
I think
We're talking about third overall
Black
Call of
Ops?
Duty
Black
or Black
Ops?
Ops?
Black Ops.
Yeah.
Black Ops.
The best Call of Duty series.
Yeah. Buried City.
I love Black Ops.
Getting
People
that.
didn't like the first Black Ops just because you couldn't hound Harrier strikes on people and get a nuke. That's why. You just had to kill people with a gun. God forbid. Enough. I love Black Ops. It's so much better. It's just great. So much more content. So much more story. It's just more complete package. But yeah. That was my first one too, to be fair. So maybe that's why my bias kicks in. And just I'm trying to think of one last like childhood game that I played a lot of. Oh, I played Jack 2. And my cousin had to play because it was really hard.
Yeah.
That's one of the games that has the awful weakness of having one level that's impossible. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has this with the trains level. I forgot what it's called, which is impossible. And then Jack 2 has this one level where there was like this dock, this boardwalk, and you have to get all the way back without going in the water and just killing a bunch of Crimson Guard people. If people know what I'm talking about, they know. Impossible. Impossible. I remember watching a Let's Play, by the way, later on with someone that I follow, like the one Let's Player that I follow, beat it on his first try. And everyone in the comments is like, oh, you're going to hate this, and somehow beat it on his first try. So there's that. Hate it.
The one game I never played, but my brother did, and I watched him, and I want to play again, is Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Best game ever made that I ever watched. That I ever watched anyone play. My first Let's Play.
Pretty cool. Paper Mario is pretty cool. But yeah, guys, any final thoughts? That about wraps it up for our time here.
I'll let you go first.
It was a great time being here for your last show.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad I got to hype you up because, everyone just, pushes you down all day long. This guy's pretty
Thanks,
talented
man.
and cool. It's great
Thanks,
being
man.
here.
It was a blast having you on for the first time, and Gabs for a number of times, but also the last
most
time.
times.
The most times. Yes, officially the most times. I'm going to publish that later. Just the official guest list of everybody that came on the show. That'll be fun. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we get back, I got some people who have been waiting outside for a while. We're going to probably talk about that Spider-Man trailer, which will be a little bit of a spoiler discussion because the Spider-Man trailer has some spoilers in it. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen Endgame, though, be careful. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. And we're back, everybody, here on the series finale of the Digital Dash here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm joined by now a whole new swath of guests. Number one, Mr. Alejandro Arceo, returning again.
For the last time?
For the last time. Mr. Nate Williams, the myth, the legend, the gamer.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. T'Challa himself. He likes doing that voice. That's why.
Brothers and sisters.
There you go. And then Trevor Gioia.
Yo.
He's been on the show a bunch. Two of these people were uninvited. I just want to throw that out there, and they just decided to come in. So just so I see what you guys think.
It's your final show. We have to, man.
I know. It's fine.
We're big fans.
I was counting. I was planning on that anyway. It's not like I had like real major things to do. But you know. No, I'm just kidding.
And plus, you were my.
And yeah,
DJ.
I taught Trevor everything I know, man. Everything I know. I taught it to him, man. I taught that guy right there, man. And Jack Bartek.
Wait, Trevor.
Who you heard the Shomo of his before for Hot Take Sports.
Trevor, weren't you on? Didn't you DJ from me like once or twice? No.
No.
Huh.
No.
Yeah. It's just because it's like, how was it for you? Why am I forgetting your name? I'm terrible.
What in the get off?
What?
That's a 10-second suspension. What in the world was that? I'm forgetting your name, fan. You know that doesn't work because I turned down your volume, right? Really? Yeah. Learning. DJing. So, guys, what I was gonna plan on talking about was nothing. But then this morning. All right, fine. You want to come back? Fine. Jeez. I mean, you can't take your penalty. It's just like we're gonna talk about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Yeah. Now, warning everybody who's listening, the millions of listeners out there, if you haven't seen the trailer, we're spoiling the trailer. But also, the trailer itself is a spoiler for Avengers Endgame. So.
Tom Holland had to do a spoiler warning. That's how.
It's ironic.
Is that the first time that's ever happened for a movie trailer?
Yeah.
For trailer.
Oh, but it's ironic that Tom Holland's doing it since he spoils.
Yeah.
Him and Mark Ruffalo all the time.
Yeah.
They should have got Gyllenhaal to do it then. They should have been like, hey, you do the spoiler.
Jake Gyllenhaal's a new one though.
True, he is or Nick Fury. Fury's better for Samuel Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I like how I mentioned
I'm glad.
I'm
glad they're back.
I'm glad he's back, and it feels like the movie feels very like Incredible, the first Incredibles a little bit.
Why is that?
Because for me, I think in my head, I think Mysterio is going to be played like
Sinestro.
Like,
Syndrome.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Syndrome.
Wrong universe.
My brain is just like, oh.
Hey, mine too, man. I'm really sick right now too, so.
But I honestly think the fact that he's going to try to be a hero, but everything that's he's doing is going to be very villainous. Villain?
Yes.
Well, because Mysterio is pretty much like a villain in the comics too. Well, he's like an anti-hero basically, and it looks like he's teaming up with Spider-Man to battle the Elementals, right?
Yeah. So just once again, final time, Avengers Endgame spoilers. It's a very somber trailer at the beginning. Because of the events of the movie with Mr. Tony Stark, of course. Just gutting. Gutting moment from Avengers Endgame, let me tell you. And this is like, what's interesting about the trailers, first of all, they confirm a couple things, or at least because there were some rumors that this trailer was going to kind of tease the future of the MCU in some way. And I think it did, because they reveal, which I kind of think it would have been funner if they didn't reveal this in a trailer, but whatever, it's Sony and their marketing's a little bit different.
Yeah.
That they reveal that Mysterio, or otherwise known as, Glenn Beck, there we go, Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck? Is it Glenn Beck?
Glenn Beck is a Fox host.
I know, he's the Blaze host or whatever.
Yeah.
It's Beck, I forgot the first name right now, I'm blanking on it. If anyone could look that up. I have 3 people, God forbid someone look that up for me. Sheesh, come on, guys.
I was going to,
and
but
it's
I want to be part of the conversation.
It's revealed that he's helping S.H.I.E.L.D. in some way. He's helping Nick Fury, at least, to stop these elementals or whatever, and that he's from another dimension.
He's from Earth, but not this Earth.
He's from Earth, but not this Earth.
Because they're on like Earth 626, right?
Earth 626, something, I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I personally don't believe that.
So I have a first. Don't believe what?
I don't believe he's from another Earth.
I do. I have a take.
I don't think so.
I believe it because Nick Fury said it. My take is. You ready for this one? Here's a fun little theory.
Quentin Beck.
There we go. Quentin Beck. That in his universe that he's from, his Earth, Mysterio actually killed Spider-Man.
Oh.
Boom. Take that.
Ooh.
That's what you
Take
think?
that.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just think it would make for a really dark moment for him to be like, no, I have to get this one, but then he can't because this is the best one. But not really. The best one's the OG. But, it's just that's just a fun. I think it would be really dark if that's the whole thing. Well, because he has that line where he's like, I wish we had someone like you in our universe or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that's interesting. I don't know. I could see. I don't think he's going to be a good guy. There's going to be something that happens.
If they did that, then they could do they could essentially mix Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they could. They can mix that in, which would make sense, by the way, technically, with the whole Sony thing.
Kingpin killed Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And then say Mysterio killed not one of the ones that was in the Spider-Verse,
mm-hmm.
but another one.
Yeah.
Like the
amazing or spectacular or sensational or ultimate or whatever.
Ultimate was Miles,
so
right?
Yeah.
Ultimate was Peter Parker, then it's Miles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who the Ultimate Spider-Man is now. Just to get deep on the Spider-Man talk for a second there. I don't know. I think the trailer, once again, I feel like it shows a little bit much. That's just me.
It's a lot.
I literally only watched it because I was going to be on the show. Because I was like,
oh really?
Because I know that trailers can reveal a lot. So especially with all the things about
with Sony trailers too.
Yeah, about the multiverse and all stuff about Iron Man and Happy, and also Mary Jane being like, he's on the fridge with her and being like, trying to say that, hey, I like you, but she's just like, yeah, you're Spider-Man. He's like, what? No.
Yeah, didn't have to necessarily show that in the trailer.
Yeah.
I really don't think you have to, even though, I think we all kind of knew that might be where they take this, but it's interesting. I'm still looking forward to it. It's still going to be fun. I'm really excited, and I think that there's going to be more hints.
They already released tickets for it.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I did hear about that. I think it's probably going to be more of a look into the future. At least it'll tease more things, which I'm cool with. I didn't want Endgame to tease anything. That's been my opinion. Let it end. Let it gestate for a little bit. Come on. I think it's dumb to have a build-up for 10 years and be like, hey, the bad guy's gone, but here's the next big bad guy.
Well, they're not doing
it's like, give it 2 months. Come on.
The next big bad guy is kind of like the aftermath, besides, Iron Man and all that. It's like the aftermath because they're saying that the Snap did 4 holes in the universe. And
so that's the whole
elementals thing.
So that's the whole look is that we might be getting... I don't think that means they're going to bring back characters necessarily. I don't think that means that. I think Downey is definitely done. But I think it's an interesting idea. I think that's how they explain down the road that the X-Men come in. I think that's how they explain that.
Well, because I haven't heard the elementals before. So is one of them...
that makes sense.
Is one of them... is one of them.
So yeah, they're actually like people. But is Sandman actually Flint?
I don't know if he's an elemental. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure about the elementals.
He's just a metahuman.
I do like though that they've been using in just the 2 movies so far, kind of the C tier villains. Yeah. They didn't just immediately go for Goblin or Venom. I know that they can't really do Venom exactly, but whatever. You know what I mean? They didn't just go for the top tier villains. They start out with Vulture, who's the epitome of cheeseball campiness aside from Shocker. And Shocker too. Shocker was in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the characters they could choose, and now they're doing Hydro Man. Because
the funny thing is,
and Mysterio, who's also goofy.
The funny thing is, both of those people were in.
Oh God.
Hey Mario.
Mario
Papa's here, host of Mario's Tuesdays Toss Stuff.
Both of those characters were in the Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
And it was a really good game.
Yeah.
Because even when you're fighting Shocker, it's like, wow, he has character development, and he's not just Herman.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. I appreciate that. Mario, do you want to get your little 2 cents in?
Yes, it is your final radio show ever.
Yeah, it is.
So I had to come by and say good luck, and I
Thanks,
hope you
man.
do the same tomorrow because tomorrow is my final radio show ever.
Oh, I'll be stopping by.
1 to 4. It's a Tuesday, it's a Friday.
Oh, can I call in? I'll call in. I'll be calling in.
You know what
can I call in?
Yeah, if you want. Your mom passed by today when I was working crossing guard.
Really?
She waved to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why she's here. I don't know why.
She came. It was
mysterious.
right at the beginning of the shift. It was 9:30.
Wow, that's pretty rad. Shout out to my mom for
probably
listening then. Maybe she's picking up some.
Don't forget to pick up your cap and gown today.
Oh yeah.
There.
Yeah.
The ballrooms.
Yeah,
There's free food, a lot of free stuff. I got a license plate holder and all that good stuff.
Awesomeness.
All right, so
I'll see you, man.
Best of luck.
Thanks
I'll see you in class in 2 hours.
All right, yeah, I'll see you, man.
Bye.
So then, what was I even saying? Yeah, Spider-Man, the game.
The Spider-Man game, it's funny. Insomniac seems to have the rights to Venom before Marvel did.
That is pretty funny.
I feel like it's very weird to think about how for me when I'm watching the trailer, I feel like my main problem with Sony is one of my main things is they love spoiling stuff.
Yeah, they really do.
They're really
bad with trailers.
They're
man.
really bad with trailers.
With the Amazing Spider-Man movies did the same thing.
Oh my
what
god!
Are we doing?
There was going back to Amazing Spider-Man. The weird thing about it, they accidentally released a photo of Gwen Stacy in like a green overcoat, and I looked at it for a second. I'm like, Gwen Stacy's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And
they did that. They like forced the you know what out of that storyline this week. But anyway, just before I get too sidetracked with the Spider-Man talk, I just have to admit, man, it's pretty cool. This trailer came out morning of my last show. It's pretty incredible coincidence. I really like that.
Incredible
it's awesome.
timing.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Everybody's saying goodbye.
Yeah, everybody's saying goodbye. This is like
It's goodbye.
This is like that scene in that movie from with the people in the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Hey guys.
Hey.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know what happens sometimes, man.
It's nice.
I think
Nice
that the trailer
coincidence.
showed a lot, but I'm still really excited for the movie and what directions it could go into. Because it is technically the end of the Phase 3.
Yeah, this is the beginning of Phase 4.
It's technically the end.
There's only one movie for the rest of the year, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the third MCU film of this year and the final for this year.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, there's just one thing I've been trying to say. It's just that with this movie, my biggest fear is that they're gonna just try to make him like the next Iron Man. They even said it in the trailer. It's like, oh, so you're like the next Iron Man? I'm like, no, I want him to be the now Spider-Man. I don't want him to be so much like Tony, because that's what, remember in Homecoming, that's what he said, if you're nothing without the suit, then you're nothing at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want him. I'm glad that they're giving him different variations of a suit. It's not just him in the Iron Spider suit, because if it's him in the Iron Spider suit for a lot, it's like, it's OP. It really is. I like him that he's got the regular suit, then the new one, and then the stealth suit. It's just cool that they're switching it up. You know?
I think he's going to be Iron Man in the sense that he's going to have new gadgets and things to get through stuff. I don't think it means he's going to have like.
I know.
Yeah, but people are just calling him the next Iron Man because he studied under Tony.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope they don't do that too, because the dirty secret about Spider-Man comics is that his less interesting storylines are when he's tied to the Avengers, at least in my opinion, anyway. But still, Adam Grassani's here also. He just decided to stop by. Everybody's just saying to stop by. You big Spider-Man guy?
Say goodbye.
Yeah, man, this is it. This is the end.
This is it.
Was your last show on Friday? I forgot.
What?
This is your hat.
Yeah, it's my hat.
Okay, I was wondering whose hat this was. So shouts to you guys. It was just laying there.
Yeah, I was I actually left it behind from last Friday's show. Was my last one of the semester.
It was the last one of the semester.
Yeah. For those who know, my show is first semester was Fridays 4 to 7. In the summer, it's gonna be Sundays 10 to 1.
Sundays 10 to 1. So everyone, if you can, stay tuned for that. Not my show though, because my show is dying. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead for sure. But let me tell you, it's I don't know, man. I'm excited. It's I wish this was still coming out July 3rd, because that would have meant
Spider-Man?
or was it July 3rd? Yeah, it was July 3rd. That would have made my 24 hours insane. You got July 4th, you got Stranger Things dropping the same day.
That's right.
Oh, it would have been great. I would have been doing July 4th stuff, then binging Stranger Things, and then going to see Spider-Man Night. It would be awesome.
I've never seen Stranger Things.
I have a take on Stranger Things. I really wish that they released episodes at a time. I wish it wasn't the whole season.
That's why I like Hulu.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Because the main problem with Stranger Things is season 2, episode 8.
All right, here's the thing. Can people relax?
No, it's not. It's not me.
You've been banned from talking, Trevor.
Wait, hang on. Relax about what?
They're acting like that episode of Stranger Things was the biggest abomination in the history of television.
That's the one where they went to Eleven's story.
Yeah, it becomes X-Men for a little bit, basically. It's like, all right, cool.
It's not a bad story. It's just not interesting.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't think it was this thing for everybody. Anyway, I'll give Trevor.
Did that break season 2? Because it didn't for me. It was just like
I still liked it.
It just was a weird side story.
I kind of needed that moment between because
I'm kind of pro episode
because
7.
everything was going wrong at that point, and I was like, I need a break, besides just being away from my TV. So I was like, I can enjoy this.
Yeah, it's what happens. You know what I mean? It's just
because
come on, relax,
I was like, everything is crawling out. This is bad.
Alejandro, here I have a thing for you.
What's up?
You don't just get up and leave the dash. You have to mention it. You do this a lot where you're just like,
no, I'm about to. I was about to.
Oh, you're about to?
Yeah, I was just waiting to speak so I can.
Because you've done that before. You've done that before.
Well, it's because I don't have really a sense of any kind of direction or social cues. So I'm just da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I get you. But anyway, go ahead, man.
I just want to say that, I've been listening to your show for so long, well, many times, it's just I just really, really, truly enjoyed your show,
Thanks, man.
And it's just, I hope you do great in life, man. You're gonna move on, do great things. Don't be a stranger. Keep in touch. Call. I still got one more year show. So
I can call into stuff.
You gotta call in,
man.
Yeah,
for all the homies out there, I can still call in probably.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna be doing anything. Look at me. Come on.
Please call in during my show.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but it's been great, and the conversations with you have always been great. And definitely have a great graduation summer. And if I'm ever in Morristown, which I most likely will, I gotta hit you up. At that,
I know you keep saying this, but I've been busy all this time. All right, man.
I know, but
all right, man. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'll allow it.
I wish I could hug you right now, but I'll see you later.
It's all right, man. Handshake.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alrighty.
I'll see you, Alejandro.
And this
see you around, bud.
And this is me signing off.
I like it. There we go.
I like it.
Adam, if you want to hop on that mic for a little bit. Just a few more minutes here.
Yeah. It's a very very hectic show.
It is. There's been, I think, like the most guest appearances for sure on this show. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's because
some uninvited.
I love how you keep mentioning that. I love how you keep mentioning that. I mentioned it. I wanted to say it.
I warned you that I was coming.
Yeah. He did warn me at least.
I did warn you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You warned me 20 minutes before my show. That's different, Trevor. That's different. But I'm just messing with you guys, of course. It's the final show. It's been man, everyone's being all nice. I don't like this. People were
give my boy Trevor a break. Give my boy Trevor a break.
I haven't been nice to you yet.
And they complimented me.
I haven't been nice to you yet.
Yeah, good. You're the only one who gets it. You know what I mean? Come on here. I don't like this. What's going on here? This isn't how this works. You insult the host. You go for the host. You go for the head, as they say.
It's just gonna be.
That first line from Avengers Endgame. Like, what did you do? I went for the head. The entire theater was laughing. There.
What did you do?
I thought of literally you and how you were on the show once and you were just saying we knew that Marvel wasn't going to do that in a movie. It's
because I was I didn't know. I legitimately thought, oh look, Anabella's here.
Just like that. Just like that.
I thought they couldn't do that in a PG-13 movie, and all of a sudden...
Oh, yeah. Now we can't talk about the movie. Because Anabella's in the studio. And she hasn't seen Avengers Endgame yet. So there's that.
I will keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you can't watch the Spider-Man trailer either because they have spoilers in it.
I have heard. My friends have told me not to. Yeah.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, Tom Holland, Prince of Spoilers.
Everyone who saw Endgame,
don't spoil the movie.
Speak no evil, you heard no evil, you saw no evil.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. It's a good trailer though, but it's just it shows a lot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still excited.
I already know 2 main plot points, and I'm really upset about it.
What are those?
Thor.
Okay.
And Captain America's.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still got some. There's still a lot of there's a lot of fun things.
There's still a lot.
I know
there's still a lot,
but
like
those
are main things.
That's great. That's even better. I also know that Stark saved the world like Arya did. So. That's all I know. Whatever that means.
Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here before we go too
I'm
deep.
sorry.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of fun moments in there and little surprise even the small things. If you've watched a lot of the movies, there's a lot of cool stuff there. But yeah, that's it for our Spider-Man talk and Avengers talk.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about it all. There you go. That's what happened. So now we're gonna take a little bit of a break. And when we get back, Anabella's coming on to talk about whatever. Talk about a movie, perhaps. Talk about this is it. This is the end of the show, guys. Last 15 minutes. This is crazy.
Break.
This is the final break. Yeah, that's a good point. This is the final break. So stay tuned, guys. Listen to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Hello, everybody. We're back here for the very end of the Digital Dash. This is not working. That's strange. Do. This is unfortunate. Oh, darn it. What happened? Why isn't it playing? What did I do wrong?
This happened to me on my show one time.
Let me see. I did, yeah. Oh, maybe is it a different mixer on the speaker thing? No. That's rough. No. Open volume mixer. Ladies and gentlemen, we were trying to play a song. We were trying to be clever and have a very specific song that played for the last 13 minutes of my show. Not the whole 13 minutes, but just some of the 13 minutes. You know, the final countdown. You might have heard of that song before, but for some reason it didn't play. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay. We're still keeping it going.
I say, if you haven't heard of that song, you have been living under a rock.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard that song. That was Adam Grisani speaking, and now in the studio, Ms. Anabella Poland.
Hello.
General Manager of WMSC. This is how it ends. Perhaps the most illustrious guest of all on the Dash.
I love that word.
I would say.
Illustrious.
I love saying that for everybody. It's great.
At that point, all I have to say is I expect the same truth from my final show one day.
Wow. Whoa, easy there, bud. You gotta earn it, man. Because I asked, all right? So you got a timeout for that, bud.
He just put the microphone off.
That's what I do.
I love how you didn't turn mine on.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. I can't
You're
see you
off
through
too.
the monitor.
It's okay.
I can
It's
neither
okay.
confirm nor deny the seriousness of that comment.
All right, well then you better deny the seriousness, man.
Oh, man.
You just forced something out there. You got to be careful out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anabella's on. It's just me. Everyone's in timeout now. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm refreshed from a week away, and I just came back to finish the semester. I have a lot of podcasts to listen to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun. I needed a time out myself to disconnect, and no better place than to go to the Grand Canyon because there's like really no cell service there. So unless you have a satellite phone, you are kind of disconnected from the planet, which is a nice thing. It's a nice thing. Initially, the first couple of days are kind of odd because you're like, oh no, is everything okay? And then after that initial like reaction to try to go in and search for your phone, you forget. You forget, and then once you get back to civilization, as we did on Sunday of the epic Game of Thrones, I was reminded I should jump on and watch it even without proper Wi-Fi because I was in the hotel Wi-Fi and it kept loading. I was like, I don't care.
Do what you got to do
I
to
just
get the Game
can't.
of Thrones.
We were like attached to a little like outlet with my brother because my phone was at 10% and we're watching it because like I'm not gonna let this be spoiled. But yeah, all good. The semester's coming to an abrupt end very soon. Tomorrow is the last day of classes and it's actually Friday. Tuesday is a Friday. I hate that stuff. Can we keep things on the same day? It's already complicated.
Yeah, I never understood that either. It is strange.
Yeah, so
you're in timeout, Adam. I already told you. You're in timeout.
So we are having our end of year banquet on Wednesday, which is always good, fun times. I can't wait to see what people are going to show up as. I don't even have a plan, but I'm sure I'll come up with something.
I have a deep cut plan for mine. Mine is a deep cut reference that people should get. They really should. I'm going to be upset if you don't get what it is. It's a minor thing. Oh, it's whatever. Hopefully people like it.
As best I can
yeah, man.
all the stuff that people are doing, like Oscar.
People can definitely hear you right now, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm having a conversation with you because I don't feel
yeah, man. You just do it that way. Go on. You can talk
our theme is the Oscars, and I don't have time to do everything like some people are going to dress up as an Oscar. Other people are going to come as Oscar the Grouch. Someone's going to come as a hot dog for Oscar Mayer. Yeah. So I'm just going to look the best I possibly can.
My first idea was to come as a trash can because that's what I think of the Oscars.
Don't tell Josh Torado this.
What?
But what I'm going to do, because you were there for our Just Dance session.
I was there for a whole session. There was a lot that went on. That was great.
So he thought he beat me, and I got a feeling because my phone was at 20% and it suspended the app that I was using as a controller. So what I'm going to do, because he said our rematch is going to be at the banquet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear the most comfortable clothes possible under my clothes. So when he challenges me, he won't know what's coming.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
My phone's going to be at full battery. I'm going to be wearing sweatpants.
So, hold on. So you are going to do a dance-off with Josh?
Yes.
This is a thing. Okay, this needs to be live. Social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is definitely going to be live. Are you kidding me? We probably shouldn't have live streamed at AJ's. Shout out AJ Malillo. We probably shouldn't have live streamed that. Probably wouldn't work. But it was still really fun.
I wasn't getting points for 25 seconds because the app was suspended.
Oof.
I got a 20%
you hate to see
battery notification, and it suspended the app, so I wasn't getting any points. So he thought he beat me. Had my phone been at 100%, no way.
It happens, man. It happens to the best of us. And you were mentioning before, I was dying to say this. You mentioned about how this is a great transition, by the way, of, being kind of away from society and not technology and stuff. The closest I've ever had to that was actually Hurricane Sandy. Really? And I really don't mean to make light of this, but for me personally, I kind of almost look fondly. I know, obviously, I'm really privileged in a situation where I'm not, in as much trouble. You just didn't
have electricity, basically.
Yeah, I just didn't have electricity. But I remember, walking through town, and it's just everybody's just, people are online for gas and all that stuff. And I was like, after, a couple days, I was like, this is interesting. What is it? I don't know, man. There's technology's everywhere. My show is The Digital Dash, and I talk about entertainment and pop culture and stuff like that all the time. But sometimes I'm wondering, it's interesting to be kind of away
No, of course.
It really is. It helps you a little bit.
Well,
you know?
I'm doing a class right now. Let me just there he goes. Where I'm studying organizational behavior, and they reference a study where people who look at Facebook throughout the day have a negative outlook on their jobs, not just the productivity that you might spend time on Facebook, on social media, not doing what you're supposed to do, but just as a general sort of like reaction to what you see on Facebook, you have sort of a negative disposition to your job.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was interesting because, you know, we all know that we have to sort of be there, because if you're not there, like, we can't promote the station, we can promote the shows that we do. And in a way, that's the only thing attaching me to Facebook right now, is that the station is on Facebook and I have to see what's going on as the main overseer. But if I wasn't, I like to not be on Facebook because it's just like annoying, you know?
Yeah,
it's
there's
like,
too much.
There's too much, and there's too much of the good. Right? Like, too much of, like, we just put that out there and it's not real life. I had someone tell me.
Instagram's like that for me too.
I don't find that with Instagram.
Really?
I find that I find new places as my bucket list to visit through Instagram. But I do follow a lot of travel accounts. I don't see it as like, oh no, they're there and I'm not there. It's more, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm so glad that they went. And that's how I found Antelope Canyon, which is a small canyon in Navajo Nation, and it's not like a national park, but I found it through a photographer, and I thought, well, I'm going to be there, so I need to go. And obviously I started researching about it, and I ended up going, and that's where I looked at Instagram for. I don't personally think that there's anything else there, but with Facebook, there's a lot of these sort of like almost stream of unconsciousness that go on Facebook, and even though you're saying something on Facebook, I almost see what you're thinking. Does that make sense?
I think I know what you mean.
And sometimes is depressing to see how people think. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just like, this is a beautiful place, that's cool. But it's not even about that. It's the kind of stories they share, it's the kind of likes they do, it's the kind of memes they share. And there's some that are really, really funny, and then there's some that give you a little bit of an inkling of what's going on in their minds, and that's a really scary thought.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, the shout out Frankie, good person that posts good memes on Facebook. Shout out to him. But yeah, every now and then I'm just on Facebook. I'm like, what is going on here? I accidentally accept a friend request from someone that I thought I knew just based on it said like 80 mutual friends. I'm like, oh, I probably met this person before. Didn't look at it. Now they're sending me like, hey, did you know about this thing? Go get this job here and all this stuff. And I asked my friends, did you get this too? And they're like, yeah. So it's just some spam bot going around now and then. You know, family that you cut off just randomly appearing back in your life because they want something. That happens too. Not a fan of Facebook. No. Not a fan of Facebook. I do it to just promo my show and whatever I write and stuff. But besides that, you know.
I think that there's a way to do the page only app and not do your own, because I wouldn't have any other way to sign on because it's not like an administrative like WMSC, right? I would like to do that instead of seeing the rest. The other thing is, you know, my family is there, and like I'm not going to expect my grandmother to understand Instagram, you know what I mean? And it's like, so just because of them,
just
you kind of continue that because we're so far away. But listen, I don't want to take too much time talking about stuff that your show talked about forever. This is your last 3 minutes and 9 seconds of your show. And I
did the exact of it too. I like that. It just, you weren't just like, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and it was 9 seconds. That was cool.
So, what was your favorite part about doing the show or being part of the radio station?
Being part of the radio station is easily just working with people, working with you, working with Nate over here, working with Adam technically. I know he's not part of SMT, but just say one word, Adam.
One word.
Yeah, you only get one word. No? There you go. The end. But just working with everybody and meeting new people and being on air. I started in the summer talking by myself for most of it. Then I was like, oh wait, I can just like have my friends calling, I guess. Maybe that'll work. Yeah. And I just kind of tried to make the show as diverse and different every week as I could. I tried reaching out to some people, and I did get some people that reached back, some people that I'm a fan of. I know I had the Clay Unos interview, thanks to you. That was really cool. Shout out to him. That was really fun. Like, kind of first industry interview that I did. That was really cool. Natalie Weiner of SB Nation, Shea Serrano, and Blake J. Harris, who's a big best-selling author. That was really cool, and I really like that. But it's just working with people with people who care. I love the energy. It's always good to work with people who have an energy about anything about life, and I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna miss it. It's kind of crazy. I wish I could keep going. I'd go forever, but I wish I
Well,
could.
we're trying to find some sort of loophole for that. You
Mm.
know, it's like as we moved into the new building and new securities and all of that stuff, the administration did not feel that we had the insurance for keeping alumni around. But there's definitely alumni takeover week, which you know I invite everyone to participate. I'd like to see more of the current members of WMSC come in as opposed to, you know, everyone that comes in is just 80s, maybe 90s. There's no knock on that. It's just that I want to see more of the recent ones, just because it's just fun to hear the shows that I heard live come back. Those other shows I had no frame of reference. I'm like, I wasn't here in 1980.
I'll be sure to do that.
So that's happening between May 13th and May 17th. And then I'm trying to think of a way to do it for winter. It is a lot of work to put it together. But like always, you know, you can find a group of people that have a show and come in, and like if you wanted to come and come into the morning bus any morning that you're like not at work, you know, I'm sure that they would have you back as a guest. It just I think that has been fun to see you grow from who you were in summer to this summer, you know, just on air, like getting more comfortable. And even being part of the SMT, just to have the presence in the office. It's tough when you guys walk through the stage because I know that that's what you're supposed to do, and I'm very happy that you do. But as you walk through that stage, I know that that's it, right? And so
that's it, man.
It's emotional. This year, I think for convocation for the school, I'm actually part of the. I'm a marshal. I'm not on stage. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go and hug my people when they come off the stage. Because as a marshal, I'm actually with the School of Art and Design. I mean, shout out to the School of Art and Design. Where's your faculty being marshals? Anyway, so...
Great message as we just passed the top of the hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclarion.
So I'm happy to be with the school because, I mean, College of the Arts is everyone. So, but yeah, you're going to be walking through that stage. You're going to have your stole. First time ever that we have a WMSC stole.
That's cool. Can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
I
didn't know
excited.
about that, but I didn't realize that. You probably mentioned this before, and I just forgot. It's cool, though. I also enjoyed when we went to see the movie, the screenings that we went to. We went to 2, Blinded by the Light and Shazam. I have to say I enjoyed the former more, just because it was new. And that movie comes out in, like, August, too.
Yeah.
And the trailer, like, just came out last week. That was a really cool experience. I don't know. It's just been fun having kind of, like, a mentor figure and meeting friends, and, you know, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life and whatnot, so.
I'm going to miss it.
So when you get that award, I better hear WMSC.
Hear what?
When you get that award, and I always tell people, whether you get an Emmy or a Tony or an Oscar or a Marconi if you're in radio.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to do
remember
that.
Where you came
unapologetically.
Remember where you came from, the Digital Dash.
The Digital Dash, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And yeah, people were really nice to me on today's show.
I was too.
Yeah. No, not Nate. Nate stayed on character. I appreciated it. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's it.
Don't cry.
I won't cry. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know why it's not hitting. It'll probably hit later. It'll hit randomly like later tonight at 9 o'clock.
Oh, I can't
like
do
that's
it.
what'll happen.
I was gonna say something to try and make you cry, but then I'd be nice to you, so I can't do it.
Well, I have to tell you, I cannot wait to hear Mario tomorrow. Because it's usually the people who are here for 4 years that have the toughest time when they say one last time signing off. They just lose it, which of course makes me lose it because I'm, I'm a human.
But I guess should I do that? Should I do the signing off? Should I just do it? All right, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the series finale of the Digital Dash. It's been a great year. Really appreciate everybody who sent me kind messages. I'm getting a lot of them right now, whether it's from family or friends or people on that show itself. I really appreciated it, and it's kind of crazy to think back how fast time went by, and all the memories that I've made in this time period. It's been a blast. And that's really all I have to say. I'm not going to get too sappy. I'll save that for later, I think. Save that for some other dash. For some other, it's for Twitter, right? Yeah. But thanks, everyone. As always, we're closing things out with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart by Journey. Remember, never accept the world for what it appears to be. Dare to see it for what it could be. I'm Javier Reyes. Thank you for listening to my show. I hope I just gave you an ounce of entertainment at least once. And if I did, then I'm happy, and I'm going to take that with me. Thanks, everyone, for coming on the final show, and see you next time.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.